All right, so if you don't mind, I guess Kev or Rich, can you just go ahead and give like a little introduction of your character, or
Sure.
since we haven't
Um,
met him?
No.
excuse me. I'm just trying to remember the one thing that I really should know is what type of armor he's wearing. Um, Bear with me a second. I'm pretty sure it's chain. Yeah, it is. So, um, sitting in the tavern when everyone was gathering, I guess, um, would be a over 6 foot tall, weathered skin, tanned human, a male, um, wearing chain. Uh, his primary means of defense is his hammer, which is laying on the table in front of him. He's got a shield on his back. Um, looks He's youngish. He's in his early 20s, and his skin looks weathered, like he spent a lot of time exposed to the elements. Um, Pretty much keeping it to himself, but when approached, he's cordial, friendly, speaks with an odd flair. Um, Lots of R's and yours and yo's and sea shanty type of talk. But he's been called here on an adventure. He's looking to put some coin in his pocket so he can continue on his own personal journey of revenge.
You said he was human.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
And then
someone that
obviously,
doesn't
if you
have dark
want to
vision.
open up any kind of dialogue to get some background, that's probably a little bit more fun than me just reading off my character sheet.
Okay. So
Unless for expediency, he's a Tempest cleric.
okay.
So
Okay. So you probably saw in the
more
last session then
necessity.
that Mary's and you are going to be the only ones that don't have dark vision.
Yes.
And Mary's is perfectly fine with that because she'll shine a light on anybody.
Yep, same with him. His typical modus operandi is to cast light on a shield and then go, tread into darkness, into the darkest spaces, so to speak.
And you said his name is Fred.
Fred Roberts.
Oh, that's a pretty
Good to meet you,
simple
lady.
name. I don't have to give you a nickname. I'll just stick with Fred. Maybe Freddy. I don't know.
No,
We'll see.
no, it's not. It's not Freddie. It's Fred. Good woman, person.
Mary's doesn't care what you want her to call you.
I didn't ask. I am just. Let me role play, damn it.
Yeah, well, let her role play because it's going to be bad.
It's gonna be fun. Oh no, I had some chuckles listening to the last adventure. So yeah.
Okay. Fred.
So it's good to meet y'all. Uh, Ahoy, and welcome aboard. I'm sure this voyage of ours is going to be a profitable one. Um, I specialize more in the control of the elements. I call upon Thor as my guide, and if you need healing, I'll hand you a bandage.
Thor, huh? Is that one?
Thor, yes, God of Thunder.
That's one of them lesser
When you're at the
deities,
sea,
right?
I'm sorry.
That,
What were you saying, Miss?
that's one of them lesser deities, right?
He just looks like befuddled. Uh, if you wish to believe so, my job is not to correct you.
Okay. What's he? He's
Your
like the
wind
Lord,
fills
the
your
Lord of
sails, your
Thunder.
direction. My wind fills my sails in the other direction. And if you eat the chili here, you'll have all kinds of wind.
Uh, okay. Whatever you say, Mister. I kind of like you. You're kind of spunky.
You could say I have an electric personality.
All right. So you've already met everybody. I'm assuming we've already gone through introductions before, so you already know everybody else, and you heard that through the recap, right? Or do you need us to do it again for you?
Nope, we're good to keep.
Okay.
I actually I did respond in Discord and as to my choices of who I would swing towards for our guides.
Okay. All right. So what? This is, I guess, metagame or out of character. What are our plans? Like I said, I put in Discord what Mary's thought, and she would have shared it with everybody as well. But she will offer up that she can do augury basically all morning if we got the money to spend on it. To ask her god who would be beneficial to guide us into the jungle.
How does Maris pronounce augury? I just want to know.
Augury.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for a little bit of accident.
That was disappointing.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
very
That was like the scene in Love Actually when he just says table.
Sorry, I didn't prepare for how to say all my spells.
Oh man. I was hoping.
Augury. I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Augury.
Old Gary. You call on old Gary to help you make decisions.
That is so great.
Like I said, everyone's got their own wind to follow. But
Eldath is most certainly old, but she is not a Gary.
she's not a Gary. Got it. Well, I too can assist with augury. I just would need time to prepare it because it is not something I use. Typically, I tend to go with where the wind takes me. Anyway, I did like the introduction that we had of Azeka. I can't pronounce these foreign names. In that Mustarab, they both are looking for assistance in their own adventure. And basically, we get to use their services for free. And
well, that's the dwarf that I like. I like him, and he's kind of our stuff is on the way to his stuff, so we can do our stuff first.
That's meta knowledge, right? We don't really know that, do we?
You would not necessarily know where any of this is.
Right.
Well, but let's go ask him. He'll tell us.
I'm all for having a sit down and letting Mary do her thing. I'd be watching it.
I can't remember if I showed this to everyone, but this is the map that you got from Syndra.
The one with all the hexagons on it.
Yes, that are all whited out.
Yeah, okay. We have that one.
Perfect. Yes. So that's just as a reminder, that's the map you got from Syndra. She's kind of mentioned that Chult is very difficult to map, other than kind of what's been seen because the jungle is dense and dangerous.
Because they can't clear all the hexagons, that's why it's hard to map.
Yeah, they're just a circle people living in a hexagon world.
And Kev, just quick, I guess, reminder for myself. Did we hear from somebody in town, or maybe it was from Cindy herself, that there's an undead problem here in Chult?
Yeah, like you could kind of pick up from just hearing people speak that the undead is a problem in the lands of Chult.
Okay. All right, guys. So, do you want to kind of do what Mary suggested? We narrow it down to like 2 or 3. Go talk to those 3, and then we can make a decision in the morning. I guess technically myself and Fred, Spunky here, can cast augury and ask our gods who we should go with.
Well, it's probably a good way to go, keeping in mind that I don't think that any of us really have combined have the gold to pay for the. I mean, we might have 150 gold between us in order to pay for the first 30 days for anybody that wants the down payment.
Mm-hmm. But, that's what I figure. I figure between all of us, I mean, there's 6 or 7 of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't all of us have at least like 50 gold pieces?
I only have 30.
Yeah, I think I ended up with like 20 something after.
I mean, based on, and I didn't even buy that much.
No, yeah, there wasn't a lot of starting gold. No,
we didn't start with a lot of gold, and I didn't buy a lot of. I mean, I paid a fair amount for my armor, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's where
I have 85.
Oh wow, there you go. You're rich,
right?
Yeah, chainmail wasn't cheap.
Yeah, I got some money.
Well, you got the money. We'll follow you.
Oh, we're just gonna pick who I choose. Is that how it's gonna work? I
Well,
like that.
that's what it's going to end up being anyway.
All right, Captain, lead on.
So who do you get? You guys want to talk to your little dwarf feller? I don't
Yeah,
really
let's go
trust.
Let's go talk to the
Yeah.
little dwarf
Yeah.
feller.
Now, something that I have found very useful in negotiations, and in my line of work, sometimes you have negotiations with people that you don't know, you might not trust. There's certain, if we could get this gentleman in an area where we're away from everybody else, we could always cast something along the lines like a zone of truth. It's always helpful, just to make sure that we're getting the straight dig, if you know what I mean.
Do you have that one prepared, honey?
Let's see. Actually, do I have that one prepared? No, I do not. I have not that one. I have common motions prepared. So no, I don't.
Well, that'll come in handy then.
I find common motions helps when brawls break out and you're trying to stay unbrawled. But anyway, zone of truth. I mean, if we're gonna meet with him today, I won't have it prepared, but I could prepare for tomorrow. It's all up to you. I don't know how much. I know I'm in a rush to get things moving, but it is. I'm not the captain of this ship.
And again, Mary's going to remind everybody again. She can cast augury tomorrow morning once it's prepared, but it will not. She can do it as a ritual. So metagame wise, it's not going to take a spell slot. She can do that, but it's going to cost 25 gold pieces and stuff every time she asks. And she can only ask about one guy, maybe two, up to Kev, per spell casting. So that's why I said we need to narrow this down to at least 2 people, and then I can ask away in the morning. Then there won't be a need for a zone of the truth if we use that method. At least that'll be Mary's reasoning.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Because she'll trust wholeheartedly in what her god tells her. This Sparky guy that you like, I don't know about him.
Hey, blind faith. It works for some people.
All right, so let's just do this. What's everybody's first and second choice? Both you guys have that dwarf guy in your top 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Veli, you with us?
I am.
Technically, you're not Veli. You are Adonis. What's his name? Hold on.
Will.
A minute. Yonder.
Will Parrott.
Yonder. That's what Mary's refers to you as. So what's Yonder's top 2 choices for the guides?
I like that dwarf too.
Musharib.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just remind you guys of Mary's top 2. It's Azaka is her second choice. Iku
That would be my second choice.
or
yes.
Eku, however you say her name, is the one she trusts the most. I can't really explain why, but she's the one that requires the upfront payment. And she said
She was on my list, but she came in third.
Okay.
So that's an option that I would go along with.
Yeah, Azaka is my second.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I had Musharib, Azaka, and Iku in that order on
Okay.
my list.
Uh,
But I would be happy with either. Honestly, I'm looking forward to making Musharib because usually when I see a white dwarf, she's been underwater for a long time. So it'd be interesting to see when that's actually breathing.
Yonder, you agree with those 3, or you got someone else that you're really fond of?
My third choice though is the Tabaxis.
River Mist and what was that? Flask.
Flask of wine, yeah.
Okay, Yonder. Who were yours?
Flask.
What?
No, I don't remember the other one. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. I've been on the road, so I don't recall the name of the other one.
Okay. So I hear Azaka is a first or second choice by almost everybody. Misharub is a first or second choice by almost everybody. And then the third one's going to be a toss-up, whoever we want. Because technically we could talk to all 4 of them if you want. The river rat cat things. Mary's first choice, Eku, Azaka, and Misharub, or however you say his name.
Well, let's do them in Azaka, Misharub, and then whatever order we want the last two in.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
And really, if we find a good one, we don't have to continue
Yeah,
on.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, Mary's not going to trust anybody until she talks to her god.
Time is money. The more time we waste, the less money we make.
All right, so we're going to talk to Azaka first, is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Kev, take us to Azaka.
To Azaka. Okay. Do.
We should do like Kevin's other group and just not do a guide.
Yeah. It's really working for them right now.
Yeah, we could have been like 3 encounters deep by now.
Yeah, that's right.
And our third or fourth characters.
Well, they didn't pick Meat Grinder, so it's a little bit more forgiving.
Oh, let's talk about the people that are here now. Who all here picked a meat grinder?
Which one's Meat Grinder?
Meat Grinder.
Basically, you die.
Oh, yeah, we decided. That's right. We decided Meat Grinder.
Yeah.
That's why I thought that was the whole purpose of Tomb of Annihilation. If you die, you
Yeah.
die.
Okay.
There is no.
Will might be too pretty to die, though.
Yeah, by we, it means not Mary's.
Right.
Okay. All right, sorry. All right, Kev, take us to Azaka. Where are we going for that?
Yeah. So, initially, you're kind of wandering around, or you're sitting around you're sitting at the board, staring at these posts, and you recognize the great drawing of Azaka. I don't know if this is something that all Chultans do on their stationery, or maybe just guides, but you feel like you saw her in the bar.
The bar of like the inn we're staying at?
The inn you're staying at, sort of just loitering around the bar.
Oh, so she's already there.
Yes, she's there.
Okay. I guess maybe would we have established before we go meet her, like who's going to be like the front person for the group? Or are we all going to ask her questions, or how do you guys want to handle this?
I do not have the charisma to be able to really do anything.
Okay, you're the face of the party. Perfect.
My charisma's not great, but I've got a +5 to insight, metagame wise. So, anyone else?
I'm pretty much the same. It looks like Mary's and I are similar in that average charisma, but good insight and good perception.
Yeah, I've got good insight and good perception too.
Will is the pretty one. He's got plenty of charisma for everybody.
Okay, so Will's going to be the one
Will
doing
in front of
insight.
all of us.
Are you proficient in insight, Yonder?
I am not.
So what is your plus then in insight?
Intimidation and persuasion
Persuasion.
and deception.
All right.
Okay, but will those help us to determine whether or not she's trustworthy or not?
Yeah, he could be doing the talking,
Well-
and we can be sitting back and doing insight checks.
Yep.
Exactly.
I like it.
Teamwork. As a crew,
Yep.
we will come together.
And we could do help. We could do help action and give somebody an advantage on their insight check.
Guidance.
And I might be able to talk her down on price.
All right, make it so.
We know what Yonder wants to do with when he gets the guide out into the woods. All right, so I guess Yonder is going to approach her, with us kind of following closely behind.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent.
All right, let the uncomfortableness begin.
Okay, so we'll walk straight up there, right?
I mean, you could jump straight up there, but that's up to you. Don't let me
No.
tell you how to roleplay your walking abilities.
Okay. So I'm going to walk right up there as the front of the group. I'm going to get up there, and then I'm going to turn around and look at everybody and go, "What do you want me to say?"
Oh gosh,
Oh, he's pretty, but
Honey?
he's dumb.
honey, we just need to figure out if she's trustworthy or not. Okay, so ask her what she did, what her skill set is, if she's able to help us, and
You're just broaching the subject. The rest of us will kick in when necessary. Don't
Okay.
worry. There's no
Okay.
pressure. Just be pretty, smile, nod, and say hello.
Okay.
There we go.
Hi. We're looking for a guide. What do you do?
You see her pause and look up from the table she's at with sort of a hunk of meat in front of her, and she looks at you and she goes, "Well, I guide, and I guide."
Well, you might just be the person we're looking for. What are your strengths?
My strengths, well, I was born in the jungle, so you know. I understand the intricacies, the way the rivers run, the way the trees shake in the breeze, where to hunker down when those tropical storms come running in and wash non-island folk like yourself out to
Here
sea.
comes my first insight check.
What are you hoping to insight?
Yeah, yeah. What are you looking
I
for?
want to see if if what she's saying is believable, or if I think she is weaving a yarn, so to speak.
So as you watch her sort of speak, she's speaking in a very even and calm manner, as if, you know, this is what she does.
Okay.
She's she's a guide, so she's kind of like, she's very calm. You don't detect um any forms of misleading, I'll say, in regards to her knowledge of the jungle.
Okay. You said you were born in the jungle last. Whereabouts in the jungle? Is it a town, a village, a settlement?
Well, that was a long time ago. Uh my family moved around a lot, so it's hard to say exactly where.
Okay, so even though you're born in the jungle, you haven't spent all of your time in the jungle. Good to know. Thank you.
You could say that, but most people, when you're trying to make money, come into the town. After all, that's where people like you hire people like me to make sure you don't end up as she reaches down and pulls up like this large, what looks like a drumstick, and just takes a big bite out of it and puts it down. And just in case you can't tell from the picture in the handout, I'm going to show this other handout, and this is what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Should be there.
Okay.
Yep.
So Will's going to say, so if you're the best guide in town, who's the second best guide in town?
How does this guy have proficiency in persuasion?
Um,
It's called negging. He's
Oh.
negging her right now.
she looks at you and she says, well, they're all second best. I suppose if you don't want to come back, you could look to them. But most of them will charge you 5 gold coins a day. But, if you're willing to help me, well, I might be able to show you some places that none of them else know about.
Describe in some a little bit more detail what kind of help you would require of our crew.
She kind of slides her chair back and stands up, and you notice that she's pretty tall. She's about 6 feet tall.
Oh, that's cute.
And she looks like she's she's got some mass behind her. And she looks to you and she says, well, I need some help going to Firefinger.
I'm
And
not from around these parts, as you were probably aware. How far would travel is, or how long would be the travel be to Firefinger?
to Firefinger, well, it might be a few days. Depends how slow you guys want to go through the jungle, see the sights, stop for water breaks, or whatever else you guys might
Mhm.
need to do along your way.
And what kind of resistance might we find upon this Firefinger?
Well, on Firefinger itself, it is run, or I should say, atop Petrafolk like to roost there. They stay there mostly. That's kind of where their kind, at least one group of them, like to stay.
Tetrafolk. I am unfamiliar with this creature.
Well, that's exactly why you need a god like me. You're
Exactly.
not familiar with what's going on here, but let's just say they're not quite like you and I, and they're a little bit more of the green and scaly variety.
Hmm.
They might also be able to, you know, come in from above. They got
So
some
they fly.
wings. That's right. I could tell you're a smart one.
All right. I glance around everyone and to the rest of the group, and then look right back at her and say, "And how many other groups have you led to Firefinger for this quest?"
Well, that's an interesting question.
And insight. I'm really studying her for her response. So I'll roll insight now, and then you can conclude
Okay.
that.
So she looks at you and she says, "Well, I would not be the god I am today if I did not lead people around the jungle. Unfortunately, not many people have taken up my offer of oh sorry, waiving my fee for help. Most of them come here with some sense of adventure, something to prove, and well, I do my best to take them around. Many folk aren't exactly the real adventurous type who would go about messing with the Petra folk, but I can tell you lot are probably pretty adventurous. Looks like you might know how to handle the right end of a hammer or two."
Marys will politely kind of step forward at this point. Let's get Azaka, is it? My name is Mary's Coopering. Now we are here on a specific, and she'll kind of eyeball side eye the rest of the group, a specific kind of mission. And this Firefinger place sounds like just a hoot to go to and help you with that. But we're interested in a place called, and she kind of thumbs through her notes because I really am thumbing through my notes of Imbala or Oralunga. Is that? Can you pray tell us if that is on the way or just beyond Firefinger?
Well, Firefinger's about due south of here, and I'd say Mbala is a little ways southwest of mostly west of Firefinger.
So it's not on the way, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't say directly, but it's a bit of a dog leg.
Hmm. All right then, and she'll turn around and go back sit with Nellie. I'm done here.
And so, go ahead.
What?
I was gonna say, okay, any guide should know how to take the Petra people out. What's the best way to attack a Petra person?
Well, the key is to get them out of their element. They really like to come in from above, take you out, and then come down to pick up the scraps, if you know what I mean. I can't give you all the secrets, but if you take them out of their element, it makes it a lot easier to, I don't know, give them a wallop with those fine muscles of yours.
I'm gonna
And
flex
I'm
a little
assuming
bit.
that to get the fee waived, we would have to assist you with your plans before you could take us to him.
Well, yes, it would. I would be very appreciative if you could help me with Firefinger and getting back a family heirloom of mine.
Okay.
Wandering
Yeah.
the jungle,
I'm
I don't
sorry,
have
but
much.
I am the inquisitive and not very trusting type.
Mhm.
I've been had before. What is to stop you from leaving us once we assist you at Firefinger?
Well, I am a guide, aren't I? It's what I do. I always fulfill my promises.
Hmm.
No one else knows the jungle like I do.
Insight on that one.
Okay.
Can you whisper it to you or put it out in the open?
Whisper it to me.
Uh,
Uh, and she kind of looks at you and says, "Well, did you all have any other questions, or should we get started?" I mean, of course, if you want me to help you get to where you need to go, uh, you know, you could always just pay the fee.
No, I appreciate your time, and I know my crew members here also do. We do have a couple of other folks that we wanted to chat with first, and I'm sure you understand. It's all part of the negotiation process. Hopefully, if we decide upon your services, you won't be already have headed. You will have not had already headed out. But I'm assuming that we can find you here. Is the best place?
Yeah, you can ask for me here. I'm usually
Excellent.
around I until someone takes me up on my offer for guiding them.
Excellent.
Marys will speak up one more time to her and says, "So, if for some reason we decide to hire you, can you at least tell us that you're familiar with the Imbala or the Orlongo area?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
By
I
familiar, can you get us there and back with no problems?"
well, I can get you there. I can help you out, but you have to make sure you're ready for what the jungle's going to throw at you.
Okay, but without a doubt, you can find both those places. Yes?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, there's my last insight then.
Um yeah, you get the feeling she's being truthful.
Okay. All right, good to know. Nelly, you got any questions for her?
No, I've got no questions.
All right, thank you for your time, Miss Ozaka. We really appreciate it, and we will be
Neither
in
do
touch.
I.
No problem. And she sits back down and kind of continues picking at her meal.
All right, so you guys want to get a private booth and talk about that, or just head straight to our next choice?
How long does that spell last?
What spell?
Oh, I thought you were using like, is it augury?
Yeah, I can't do that till tomorrow morning, and that's basically just asking my god which of the folks is this person good or bad? Is this person good or bad? It's a wheel or woe question,
I
basically.
see. I see. And then the somebody else was doing insight. Is that the same thing?
No.
Okay. Can
Inside
they?
is trying to determine whether or not she's being truthful.
I'm sorry. I thought they were casting a spell.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. All right. I say we go to the next one then. We won't know until tomorrow anyway, so we might as well
I
get them
agree.
all out of the way.
Okay. And the next one was the dwarf dude. Is that right?
Dwarf
Yes.
dude.
Okay. What was his name?
Musharib.
Musharib.
Not to be confused with the wonderful Chinese food dish mushu gai pan.
Mushu beef.
Or mushu
Pork,
ribs.
mushu pork.
Yeah.
Mushu bork dwarf.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys ask around, and you're kind of told that he likes to hang out a bit in the market, and he's sort of, in and around that area. And as you ask, the market's not very far, and you happen to come upon this albino dwarf, and he actually looks a little similar to Nalgren, if I'm not mistaken,
He does.
in terms of you're both albino-y dwarves.
Oh, I missed that fact. Nolly's albino too?
Very pale.
Okay, all right.
Pale
sorry.
or like white as a ghost?
It's difficult to tell because he's covered top to bottom in tattoos.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, I wouldn't have commented on that. Well, I'll be. Look at that dwarf right there. Looks like he just came out of a whale's belly. That must be the one we're looking for.
And Will's gonna go. I got it this time. I know what we're doing.
Okay.
And he's gonna walk straight up to him.
You go up there, Swabby. Make us proud.
All right. We're
And
gonna go straight up to him.
And where's everyone else comparatively in the party?
Like specifically the other dwarf.
Well, like the other people in the party. Like, are you guys kind of all going up together with
Yeah.
Will in the lead, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
think like a geese V formation.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
A flying V. Okay,
There you
I
go.
like it.
So we're basically in a flying V.
Well, I don't think you get flying V until level 5, but I'll give you guys power walking.
So we're
V.
doing loose gaggle.
We're a loose
stroll
we're a
with-
loose U.
A loose you.
a
Oh
loose you.
man, you don't get much looser than me. Okay, yeah.
All right.
So you guys walk up and approach the dwarf as he's kind of just standing around in the market, just looking at the wares and stuff like that.
All right. Will's gonna go up to him and go. I hear you're a guide. Who are these Petru people, and how do we kill them easily?
Oh my god. Mary just slaps her forehead.
Oh, lad. oh, you're not a Swabby. You're a cannibal. Okay.
Roll me just roll me a straight charisma. I just want to see just roll me a charisma.
I can do that.
Anyone can roll.
Oh damn!
So as you approach, you kind of stutter because, I mean, Nalgren's a little bit pasty, but you've never seen a dwarf or other person who's maybe not ghostly, so white, or so pale, and you kind of, trip on your words a little bit, and he goes, "Pardon me, friend. Why, yes, I'm a guide. And are Petra folk troubling you?"
Mary's just going to step forward. What my friend meant to say here has nothing to do with these pterodactyl people. We are in need of services. We need a guide that will take us to a place called Orlungo, maybe Orambala, and wondering if you might be the person to fulfill those services.
Well, I certainly can help you guys out. I mean, my fee is 5 gold pieces a day. And, well, you look like a tough group of individuals. I'm sure I could help you make your way through the forest. And fear not, Petra folk. They're, well, as long as you stay covered, they don't find you. Well, you better hope they don't. And, oh, why, hello, friend. What is your name? And he kind of shoves through and extends his hand out to Nelly. Sorry, Nalgren.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary's. Mary's rector for everybody. Everybody go home. Game's over. Nalgren is my name.
Nalgren, nice to meet you. My name is Musharib, but I gathered you kind of read that on my note. That's why I assume you've been looking for me. And he looks around and he pulls you in closer. Unless you got a referral from some of the other dwarves around here, I tell ya, these dwarves should stick together, my friend. That's all I have to say about that. And, well, he looks at the rest of your group and he goes, normally I charge 5 gold pieces a day. But, well, if you're seeking adventure, I've got a quest to reclaim Harkamar. It's my...
Harkamar. Oh, I've heard of that.
It's my clan's ancestral forge. It could be very well yours, too. I can tell by the way you speak you're not from around here. Now tell me, what brings you around here? I know your big friend said Mbala and Orenga, but are you reconnecting with your dwarven roots?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Though I am from the area, but we've been asked to go to Mbala and take care of some business, and maybe in the need of a guide. Where is this Rakamar that you talk about in relation to Mbala?
Hang on, I just have to look at the map. The map that you guys don't have.
Did you say the map that we haven't Googled? Is that the one?
Yeah, because I trust you guys.
I'll be right back. I gotta take something off my wall.
Is it the map?
No, it's a picture of my ex-wife.
Oh, okay. In Chult.
And he goes, why? If we're to set out for Krakamar today, well, that would take us right through Mbala. Probably pretty close to Oranga, too. If that's where you really want to go.
Mary's ears are going to stand straight up for the first time. Says, oh, really? That's on the way? Well.
And still kind of like looking over to you slightly with like a slight head tilt, he says to Nalgren, well, yes, Nalgren, it would take us right through there. And, I have to say, it would be really great for you to reach out, and you don't even know our lore, do you? And he goes, well, a volcanic eruption had forced us to abandon Harkama years ago, and, well, fire newts have taken over, and they have to be driven out and destroyed.
Fire newts?
Fire newts, the very same! See, dwarves never forget such things. It runs in our blood. And at the very least, we must recover a relic. And the fire newts must not be allowed to keep it. And if you love dwarven kind, and I know you love yourself, I can tell, look at those tattoos. And, then hear my plea and help me return her Harkamar to its rightful owners, and, well, I'll guide you for free.
Are you having a difficult time pronouncing the name of that town?
It's a very difficult dialect, I have to say. And if you must know, the H is silent, so it's really difficult. Harakamar. But I assure you, there are good things there for dwarves, and bringing it back, well, all your dwarven brothers and sisters would be so happy.
I like him. He's like gnome dwarf fun.
Yes, and in my travels, I've come across many different clan of dwarfs, and they are very, very handy, especially when they have access to their ancestral forge. Should we be successful in thwarting these fire newts, might we be able to then employ upon your good graces to assist us with armor and weaponry? Following that, to prepare us for the balance of our trip.
And I step sort of in front and say, "Whoa, hold on a second. If we're going to go through Mbala anyway, maybe you could help us do our thing before we help you do your thing."
It seems a good fix, because we'd be going to Umbala on the way, and then afterwards we would be going to Mary's. What was the name of that other?
It was Orlanga and Mbala were the
Right,
two
so
locations I
we
was
go
told about.
through Umbala, then on to Harakama, and then Orlando. Disney. Yeah, we're gonna hit the parks on our way out. So
Harry Potter World.
Yeah, true, very true. I think this is looking better and better.
Will's going to speak up. So how do you kill a fire newt then, guide?
A fire newt? Have you never encountered a fire newt? Nalgren, tell your friends about these fire newts. They're quite awful creatures. I mean, woof. They're
They like-
fiery and newty.
and
They're
they like
the of both.
They like magma.
Yes. That is why the volcanic eruption driven us out. They started it, They stoked the fires of the volcano, knowing full well it would drive us away. But oh, we shall return, and we shall... Well, you can crush them a variety of ways. You can bludgeon them, slash them, freeze them, put them in a stew if you're crazy enough. Not that anyone ever eats fire newt stew, I assure you. But however you choose to get rid of them does not bother me as long as they are gone, and Harakamar is returned to the dwarven people.
So
This is
Mary's
the guy.
Well, Mary's was going to stoop down to one knee, kind of get in front of us. Is it Mushu? Is it? My name's Mary's Coopering. Now, we were sitting here on a specific mission, and I understand that you said that the Mbala is on the way. So, what I got a very important question for you. And she kind of really looks into his eyes at this point, and she says, "Now, honey, can we trust you?"
And you see him. He's holding a wooden maul in his hand, and he sort of drops it to his side, and you hear it sort of clank on the stones below him. And when you got down to his level, Maris, you notice that the armor he's wearing is made out of the spatulate bones of dinosaurs, and it's gnashed and scarred by what you can assume to be weapons, claws, or teeth. And he says, "Well, I appreciate you coming down to my level, but, the dwarven girls are for me, miss. And I gotta tell ya, I'm good as my word. As good as my word that I'm here to return Harakamar to the dwarven people. And if you help me, I'll help you."
In that order? Or are you willing to help us first, since it's kind of on the way, as you say?
Well, I suppose we can do that too. I mean, I would have to take your word that you're not going to leave me at Umbala.
Oh, you have my word, mister. If you help us, it is Eldas' duty to return the favor.
And I look at Mushu and I say to him, I'm pretty sure that if Mary says that she's going to do it, she's going to do it.
and I want to do a quick insight on whether or not, when I ask him, can we trust him, whether I believe that or not. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can give me an insight, and
Can I give
while
him Can I give him advantage on it by helping him?
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna do. Musharab looks to you, Nalgrin, and kind of leans in around Maris, and he whispers in your ear, "Can we trust this tall folk?" you can roll me a perception check, Maris, to see if you hear that. But yeah, you don't hear anything because the market's kind of loud and kind of bustly. But you do notice that he leans in to whisper into Nalgrin's ear.
You still want to see my insight, or are we waiting for something else?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
give me an insight now.
Great.
Okay. Oh, you can't give it away like that. You're supposed to say awesome.
Great. Yes.
There you go. So Nalgrin, your chance to reply.
And I comment back. I want to roll an insight on this too, but to answer his question, I say I don't get the feeling that there's that this woman hides anything. I think she is exactly what she says she is.
Do I hear that? Kev, would I have
Sorry,
heard what Nelly just said?
What did he? Sorry, I missed what he said.
Oh,
You
I
kinda
said
there.
I said to Mushu that I'm pretty sure that Mary doesn't hide anything. I think that she does and says exactly what she says she's going to do.
So do I need to roll perception for that, or I got it?
No, because it's still the 6-second conversation. You hear your name mentioned, but that you don't hear necessarily what was said.
Okay. I assume they're talking in Dwarvish or something.
Yeah, you're just like, oh man, this language that I totally do not speak. And he kind of, you see him like look, because he's only like 4'5", I believe. Yeah, he's 4'5", and you kneeling, you're probably still, 6 inches to a foot taller than him. And he kind of gives you this side-eye glance, and he says, "Well, Nalgrin, if you're going to vouch for her, I suppose I can trust you. I mean, yeah, I suppose I could do that." And he like looks at his hand, and he lets it, and he goes, and he lets it, and he spits into his hand, and he holds it out to you now, and he says, "What do you say? If you love dwarven kind, as much as I do."
And I'm going to turn back to the group without putting my hand forward and say, "What's our next step?"
And
Will's going to speak up. I like him.
And Mary goes, "Just remember what we said we was going to do. There is the all-knowing about the right path to take." And she kind of will point at the little symbol on her chest of Eldath.
And I think fate has kind of blown our wings and set our sails in this direction.
I do too. Come on, Maris.
But out of character, Maris wants us to wait until tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I know.
Maris, I think we can make a decision
I'm
right
a little
now.
chaotic, and I like this. He looks like he can.
Now, fellas, we cannot make decisions in haste. Okay, we must meditate on our options so that Eldath may show us the proper path. I will not make any decision without first consulting with my deity.
Well,
all due respect, Mushu.
But I'm.
Well, he looks.
No, hold on a second. Finish that statement over there in the background. I want to hear the rest of that.
Talk about Rich.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Rich?
I was going to say no one's going to force you to make a decision, but my sails are set.
You say that to Mary's?
I say that out loud. I would
Okay.
not force you to make a decision, and welcome to it, but my sails are set. I think we have found our course.
Okay, well, you trust in your God and I'll trust in mine.
To each his own.
All right, then I look over at Fred and I say, what say you, Fred?
Fred, he's talking to you. Did you? Oh, sorry. Did you forget your name? We can call you Sparky if you want. I like Sparky. Maybe Spunky.
I answered. Fred spoke already.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Other non-Fred. I don't have a list of all the characters on my sheet.
Well, you talk about Cookie's here in spirit. I think Cookie's in the back. He's eating an old mouse he found in the corner. But you're probably talking about Nelly. Not you're Nelly. Yonder. You're talking about Yonder.
What do you say, Yonder?
I like him.
Shall we?
Well, we really need the whole group, though.
Mary's just going to stand up and cross her arms, give like a stern look, like, "Are you motherfuckers really going to make a decision without me?"
Maris might need to figure out that she's not. The world does not revolve around her.
That's true, but can we give the big woman until the morning?
What time? If we were going to head out, Musharib, what time would we leave?
Well, I think it's always best to go out in the morning. That way you have a full day of adventuring. And I tell you, if you don't hunker down right away, the night can be mighty awful out there.
We're not leaving until the morning anyway.
And as you're saying this and waiting, like a glob of whatever he spat out, just like you hear it splat on the ground below his outstretched hand.
Oh, I thought you were going to say roll to hit, Maris.
Just vomited on Mary's foot. Mary's just going to look around. She's not going to extend her hand.
He's not offended by your not extending the hand, Merritt. You look at him and you see no offense of you ignoring his handout. You see that his gaze is more fixed on Nalgren.
Yeah, I may not be pretty to everybody else, but to another dwarf. Whew!
Smoking.
And Will, you're kind of like taken aback that he's not fawning over you. And your Adonis like self.
Well, I'll get him next time.
Well,
right.
shall we tentatively make an agreement, but not shake on it, and meet up with them tomorrow after Maris has gotten her way?
Mary's will just nod. I think that's a good plan, Nelly.
Excellent.
Musharib, we've got some other business that we've got to do, but where can we find you tomorrow morning?
He kind of looks around and he points to this stand across the street from him, and he goes, "You'll find me there. Right at the crack of dawn, I'll be waiting, because I know you're not going to find anyone better than me. And, no one else cares about dwarves as much as I do, Nalgren. You got to understand that. And, there's a lot down there for you to find. Reconnect with yourself, get in touch with your culture. And, I mean, of course, obviously, we'll see Umbala and Orenga. That's, of course we'll do that.
All right, so Mary's just another insight about, he just said that you're going to see a lot of your kind down there. And I thought he said they all got run out, so I'm inciting this shit.
Sorry, I might have I might have misspoke there.
A little bit of Aaron standing on the DMs.
I didn't take that to mean that I'd see a lot of walking around dwarves down there. I took it honestly out of character to mean that that I was going to see a lot of dwarven stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I was implying with that.
Okay.
Not,
All right.
not that there's like albino dwarfs down there or anything like that. I was just implying that. So
Okay. Okay. All right.
sorry. I'll retcon that because that's not the implication
Okay.
I was ad-libbing for.
All right.
So to speak.
All right. Can I save that roll for later?
I will let you save it for the next guide you look at. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, Musharib.
And Marys will stoop down to him and extend a hand, not the hand that he spit on, but the other one, and say, "Thank you for your time, Mushu. We will be in touch."
He kind of like does like this thing where he like hits the back of your hand and then the front of your hand. You know, like kids do. Like he just gives you this high five and is like, "Okay, whatever, done with you." And then he gives Nalgren almost like a hug, just like, "Bring it in, brother." Mm.
I imagine Marys will try to awkwardly mock whatever he was doing, then just kind of wipe her hand off when she was done. Okay, very good.
And he
Will's
goes,
gonna say.
"Go ahead."
I was gonna say. Will's gonna say, "We'll be back. I'll make sure of it."
That's. I knew a good-looking man like you recognizes the beauty of an albino dwarf too.
That is a loud vocal sigh from Marys.
He does not. He does not even pay you any mind, Maris, and your side.
Fred approaches, spits in his palm, holds out his hand, and goes, Pleasure's mine. I look forward to traveling with you as our guide, Northern Star, for the trip through this jungle of sea.
Did you say you spit in your hand?
I think it's Fred just made the deal with him.
Yeah.
Mary's gonna look back over her shoulder. When you two are done swapping spit, we'll be out here talking, okay?
Yeah. Be right there.
He kind of shakes Fred's hand and goes, looks to Nalgren and Fred and goes, "You know, I guess the taller ones usually do have a big mouth, don't they?"
Well, hopefully, and I just say it over my shoulder, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow as we walk away.
"Oh, I'm sure you will." And he just like waves at you guys. Well, he waves specifically at Nalgren.
Right.
But you know, if you're in the general area, I could see how you would assume that he would be waving.
Waving to the group. Got it.
Yeah.
Head out, meet up with Mary.
I just want to share. Mary's in her mind is like, okay, yeah, this guy seems trustworthy, but she's like stern. She's just pissed off at herself for not liking him to begin with. That's not one of the ones she picked, but she's like keeping that all to herself. But she's struggling with it.
Right.
Sorry, what was that, Brian?
She's like on the inside. She's like torn because she didn't like this guy from the reading of the posting, and he wasn't even on her short list. But deep down inside, she kind of trusts him as well for some weird reason. But she doesn't want to tell anybody that. She's not going to admit that she, chose or wanted to choose the wrong one or a different one.
Okay.
All right. So who do we want to see next? There was the two Tabaxis, and I think Eku was the other.
Yeah, do you want to go see the cats or the other girl?
I look around and go, I'm just tagging along at this point. I think we've found our Northern Star.
Maybe we should let our charismatic one go hang out with the girl next.
Oh, sure. I'll hang out with your dwarf friend, but you won't go hang out with my choice?
Oh, no.
I see how you are.
Oh, we're all going. I'm saying no. I'll join you. I'm not going to leave you off. Going to head off. We're a crew. We stick together. We watch each other's backs. But I'm just saying.
All
I
right,
think we found our Northern Star, but I'm more than willing to tag along and hear what they have to say.
Let's go find Eku, and we'll find out if we found our Northern Star or not.
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys are going to try and find Eku.
Correct.
Okay. Let me just pull up her sheet. That was the one sheet I didn't have pulled up.
Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Or maybe it is a good sign. I don't know.
Well, no, I just had because when you guys were talking, I put Azaka's and then Mushreb's to the front. So I had to go looking for. I had them all out. It's just I had to go finding that one.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't, you need to read what she had on her posting. That was the main reason why she was at the top of the list for Mary's. It just aligned with Mary's to the hilt.
Doing good in the world.
Yeah. Seek to rid the jungle of evil. I mean, everything just was like hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're going to want to do some insight when she's talking.
Yep. All right, we have to travel far to find her, Kev, or?
No, she's not too far away. She's kind of all within the like, I guess what you'd call the more social area of the town. You know, kind of where like the inn is and the markets and all that kind of stuff that seems to be on the periphery of. I would normally say town center, but the center of this town is like the harbor, basically. So kind of just in the area that what you might think is the town center or town square.
Okay.
You ask around, and you does someone want to roll me an investigation check?
What, to see if we can find her?
Well, you just see how long it takes you to find her.
I don't think you want Mary's doing that.
Well, it doesn't hurt if we all do it, so I'll throw it in there.
Okay.
I'll let two of you do it.
It's not going to be Mary's.
Fred gave me one. Yeah. So you guys ask around, you ask the right questions, and you eventually find her. She's kind of, near in and around some orphans and, maybe some elderly people as she's sitting there. And as you approach, you kind of see that she's talking and engaging with them and, engaging in a story and, making them laugh. And they're kind of playing on, just like you approach her and she's kind of holding court with these people who are maybe a bit downtrodden.
Before we get too close, Mary's going to put a hand onto Yonder's shoulder. Says, honey, maybe this time you should let me do the introductions. No offense.
I killed it that time.
Yeah, you killed it all right.
If you want to,
You
you can do it. We already know who we're going with, so it's cool.
Yes, it's cool, as you say. Yes. All right, and she'll look around at everyone else that wants to object to her talking to her first.
Go for it.
All right, so Mary's will wait till she finishes her story, or she doesn't want to interrupt. She's not going to be rude. But when she finds a good point, she will go, excuse me, we know her face because of the posting, or not?
Yeah, you'd know her face.
Okay.
There's, for some reason, I guess, maybe since Craigslist isn't an actual thing, this is maybe where message board comes from. They have like a picture that's drawn on there of reasonable accuracy.
Okay.
And you think maybe it's to make them look more professional and bring people in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Mary's will, again, find a good spot where she's done talking, not interrupting. Because, excuse me, Miss Eku. She says, my name is Mary's Coopering, and we are here on an important mission. And we have heard through the grapevine that you are one of the finest guides in this city. And we would like to ask you a few questions, if we may.
Okay.
That's how she answers?
Okay. Sorry.
That's great role play right there.
Sorry. She turns from the party and goes, Oh, welcome! Come on in.
Whoa, tone it down a little bit there. It's okay. I was saying, we're looking for a guide, and we've heard some great things about you. And we were just wondering if, see, we're on a mission to a place called Imbala. I may be saying it wrong. I apologize if I am. Or possibly Orlungo. And wondering if how familiar you are with those areas and if you'd be the right fit for us.
And she looks to you, and Mara, she's quite a bit shorter than you. She's only about 5.5 or 5 foot, about 6 inches, and quite thin. She's a bit of a middle-aged looking woman, and in one hand she's holding um mm, mm, she's holding a staff that has a kind of like a winged snake carved on the top. And she goes, pardon me, where were you looking to go, my friend? And why, yes, I am a guide. Ah, what I'm sorry, my hearings was a little off there, and she sort of shoos the orphans away who were um pulling at her coat or at her cape, and she goes, sorry, what was your itinerary, I guess?
Oh my gosh, she had orphans all around her.
Yeah.
Mary's just falling in love. It's Imbala, honey. We're trying to get to Imbala. Are you familiar with that area, that place?
Yeah, she kind of looks you up and down, and she goes, well, what does a, you know, saintly woman like you want to do with a place like Umbala? I do know where it is. I do know how to get there, but my question is what are you doing there? Or what's there for you? Because I can tell you're not from around these parts.
It's true. We are, most of us here, and she kind of looks around somewhat quizzically, are not from around here. So, then she kind of looks, does a double take back at Nellie after the last confrontation that they're both white albino dwarfs. But if you don't mind, if we choose to hire you as our guide, then we will be more forthcoming in our reasons for going there. But I hope you can understand our need for discretion at this point to discuss our ultimate need or desire to beat Mbala. We just need to know if you can be trustworthy and you can lead us successfully to that area.
Well, I can certainly take you there, and well, there isn't a guide out there that's more trustworthy than me. I mean, I do take of the 5 gold pieces a day I ask for up front. I use a little bit to pay off the merchant Prince Jobel. He kind of runs the guide. It's guides aren't exactly looked upon well here, but they're kind of a necessary evil. And well, I gotta pay him my fee, and well, whatever's left, I give to the people who need it.
Oh,
I don't take much for me, but I like to make sure that the people who need it are taken care of.
oh, honey, I can admire that. Oh, so can I. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But, honey, let me tell you, what is the deal with the Jobo? Out of character, none of the other guides said anything about Jobo, did they?
Not to
Uh,
us.
yes, out of character, no one else mentioned Joe Bolt.
Okay. All right. So that's gonna kind of pique at least Mary's in it. Guys, if I'm railroading this, you guys tell me to shut up. You guys chime in anytime. But she's gonna.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna
He's
chime in when
enjoying
we
this.
turn her down and go back to the dwarf. Just don't wait. Don't worry about it.
She goes, now we haven't heard anything about this Joe Ball fellow. Is he like all the guys here in town work for him?
And she pauses and she goes, honey, you're so new here. It's refreshing. You guys are like and she looks at the full party this time. You guys are like a breath of fresh air right from the mainland, I tell you. And she goes, well, and she like brings you in a bit. She waves you to come in a bit closer. And she says, and she starts to whisper. She goes, well, you see, Port Nyanzaru is run primarily by the merchant princes. And Joe Ball, he's got his thing. That's guides and some of the other activities around here. Then you have Quixote, and he controls the sale of things like insect repellents, rain catchers, and then you have Akinafa, who controls the canoes, and there's other ones, but you kind of get the idea. Each merchant prince has his finger in every pie, and I tell you, if you're not paying Joe Ball, I wouldn't want to cross his path, if you know what I mean. But of course, there are those who don't, and well, there are those who bring goods in that aren't exactly regulated by the merchant princes. I guess you could say we have a bit of a black market here. But even that, unofficially, I think the merchant princes have their take. But that's why I give to the poor, because, well, if no one else does it, you don't get to be a merchant prince by helping out the people now, do you?
So this Joe Ball fella doesn't sound like he's all on the up and up.
Well, men and their power, dearie. Am I right? And she kind of just laughs.
Well, some men are better than others. I will say that. But so you say that you can successfully get us to Mbala and back?
Well, are you just looking to go to Mbala, or is there anywhere else? I can get you there. But while we're there... Sorry, go ahead.
She'll look around the rest of the party. Well, I think our little fella here, Nelly, this is shit. What's her name? Iku. See, Nelly here just found out that there's some former homeland of his kind that are under siege by some fire newts, and that's why he's all up in arms about. Let's just say I think that's an important thing for him.
And I step in immediately and say, "Not my homeland, just the land of another dwarven clan."
I apologize, Nelly. I didn't mean to offend, but
Will's going to
they all
step in
look
too.
alike or something? Like, what is this?
You talking to Mary's or Nelly?
That was just a joke. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Will. You said something. I kind of
Will's
jumped in there.
going to step in too. If you're a good guide, what kind of things do we have to watch out for in the jungle, and how do we make sure we can? What's the best way to make sure we can kill them if we need to?
And she looks at you and she goes, "Well, I'm sure a handsome fellow like you has, well, had his fair share of tangos with people wishing to do him harm."
Is it just people or creatures?
Have you ever been into a forest or a jungle, or do you just stay in the city and lounge and eat pretty things? Because any forest or jungle I've ever been in, well, that's where the creatures go. They don't like civilization, and that's why the undead siege the walls of Port Nirnzaru, and well,
So we're going to meet up with undead?
We could avoid the undead, but then you run into the risk of any type of danger: snakes, lizard folk, dinosaurs, everything. I mean, there's a reason why most people hire a guide to go into the jungle. There's a lot of things that go bump in the night, and some of them even go bump in the day. And there's some tricky ones out there. Some creatures out there are very tricky.
Will says, I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear.
And she kind of just like lays a hand on your like bicep, shoulder type area, and says, "I bet you do, honey." And I'd recommend if you guys were setting out and you weren't quite sure where to go, I'd recommend going to well, Orlunga. There's some folk there who might be able to help you out.
Help us out how? What do you mean by that?
Well, that is that's where the Guardian Naga are, and their oracular abilities are, well, of legend.
Did you say Naga?
Yeah, I said Naga.
Did you say oracular?
I said oracular. I said a lot of things in that sentence, but if you would keep up, it would be, well, that's why I'm the guide. And she just looks at you with like this sassy face. And
So-
she's like, and what would be better than doing good for the kind folk around here?
So, just so I'm clear, this is the first time someone's told that there's Naga at Orlunga, right? We didn't know that before, did we?
You did not know that before.
All right. This is going to be tough for Mary's. All right, so honey, I gotta ask you this, and I'm sorry for that, but I do this to all the folks we're considering right now. It says, can we trust you? Rolls 10 dice.
I just want to say that was not me rolling the dice.
Oh, okay.
Props to whoever's trying to fake everyone out and like force the decision for someone else.
She casts fireball.
And Mary's is dead. Let's go with the dwarf.
She's like, so you asked her what, like, can you trust her?
Yes.
And she goes, well, I'm not sure how many of those, sounds like you've spoken to a few guys. I bet you spoke to Musha Rib if you're new and talking about fire newts and Harakamar. But I bet none of them told you about Joe Ball, and, well, they all like to get fat on your money, and, well, I like to help the people here. It takes a whole lot to be real good.
How is Musharib getting fat on our money?
Well, maybe not yours, but all those guys, and maybe he doesn't pay Joe Bell his cut. I don't get into those kind of politics, but I don't see him giving out to any of the common folk around here. Now he's going on about saving the dwarf homeland and this and that, and, well, he's passionate. I'll give him that.
All right, so I want to use my previous insight roll on whether or not she's truthful about giving her money away to the poor on those past couple of statements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
she's a liar who lies.
So with your insight check, you get the sense she's being truthful, and she does really, give away, maybe other than a slight stipend. She gives it away to those who are in need.
Okay. Do I need to do a
Like,
separate insight on whether or not she was truthful about what? Can we trust her?
If you like, that's up to you.
No, I'm good with that first one. I don't need any more insight. All right, honey.
Okay.
And she'll turn to the rest of the group. Anybody else want to ask Iku? I'm sorry, is it Eku or Iku?
Well, some call me Eku, some call me Iku. I just kind of let it roll. I know they all mean well. I hope so, anyways.
All right. Well, if anybody else has any more questions, I think I am satisfied with our little meeting here. And she'll look around the rest of the group.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to share with us to convince my other friends here of your worthiness?
She goes, well, I'm not sure how many of the other guides gave you a little bit of insight into what's in the jungle, but I did tell you about the Naga, and that was free. And I told you I can take you to the other places.
Okay, very well then, Eku. And that's if we will make our decision in the morning. Where can we go to possibly find you and let you know who we have chosen?
Well, I usually stick around here. Not many people do who could afford to be elsewhere. You know, this isn't the nicest part of town, but I like the people here. They're real, they're true, and they're who I like to help.
All right. We thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch. And she kind of holds out a hand to shake her hand.
And she reaches out and shakes your hand as well. And she gives a good shake, and she goes, "I can tell from that shake you're a fine woman."
Well, thank you. I can tell you're a fine woman too.
And she grabs your hand a little tighter, and she goes, if you're going to Umbala, you better. Well, I'd like to take you there and have you help me out. There's a hag down there, and she's just done some terrible things to the people there. I'd love your guys' help, and I can tell you're not a big fan of evil or supporting it, and well, the less evil there is in the jungle, the better it is for everyone here.
And she'll lean a little bit closer and continue. I guess we're whispering. I don't know or not. And she goes, "This is a hag in Imbala, you say?"
Oh yeah, and she tricked, and well, you know what hags do, right? And she looks you in the eye.
Mm-hmm, sister.
Well, she tricked the people there, and I tell you, it's from what I hear, it's not what it used to be anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate. We will have to do something about that while we're down there.
And you see like a tear come out the corner
Oh,
of her eye.
come on.
I'm not even gonna roll insight. She's already got me hook, line, and sinker. So I'm like, honey, and she, Mary, stick her other hand, put it on her cheek. Honey, you have my promise. We will take care of that hag while we're in Imbala. You have my word. By Eldath as my savior, we shall take care of that hag. She will do no harm, no more evil, ever again.
Oh,
And she
I don't know that you should make promises like that.
She just did.
But we haven't had our discussion yet, Marys.
Yeah.
This is a whisper conversation between me and Iku right now.
you guys can roll
Okay, I want to roll a perception.
Maris, roll a performance to see how loud you were, and how good you were about keeping your emotions in check. And I'm going to tell you right now, the lower the roll, the better it is for you, Maris.
The lower the roll?
Yeah.
Let me roll investigation then?
No.
Okay.
No. Roll
I'm cool.
up.
I'm just joking.
Okay. And someone roll a perception.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. There you go.
So Nalgren and Fred, you both hear excited whispering, and you hear specifically Maris, or what you think she says is, "I promise to vanquish evil from the jungle." And like you see her like wipe the tear from her eye, and Iku has this big smile, and she says, "I could tell the light shone upon you, and I hope Eldath guides you back to me, and well, we can help get evil out of this jungle because the people here need that."
Do I see anything on her outfit or anything that has a symbol of Eldath? Do I need to roll a perception, or is it she like have it out in the open if she did?
Yeah, so she's just wearing like sort of typical Colton like Colton, like the light blue flowy robes, and she
Yeah.
has the walking stick, but there's not anything that gives a sense of her having a god that she worships
Okay.
or anything like that.
Okay. I'll say that just be icing on the cake. Okay. All right.
She just heard, she's just acknowledging it and helping you guys. She acknowledged it because you said it, so she's being warm and friendly to you guys. And
I wonder what faith she actually is.
are you asking that?
I'm going to
or-
ask. I'm going to ask her. What's her faith? Who does she follow?
Who does she follow? Okay, you'll have to give me 1 second because I did not think anybody would ask me about faiths in Chult.
Only because this could be a deal breaker for certain people.
Or it could seal the deal for certain people.
Well, it doesn't matter. Split the party or don't split the party. Choose what you want to do.
Well, as a DM, I have to tell you, I'm all about splitting the party. I love making my game way easier for myself.
Yeah, my older brother always loved that too when he threatened us with lightning bolts if we decided to split the party.
Ooh, I'm not that mean. So she basically tells you that as a Chultan, they kind of believe in the gods of Omu, and it's a little kind of like you kind of pray to the god that you want in that moment, kind of like how some people would make offerings to at springtime for a good harvest. They would make offerings to like a fertility god. She kind of tells you that that's kind of how the Chultan people are, and that's what she observes or follows. And
All right, knowing what I know about the land of Chult, does that make sense to me?
yeah, you'd be like, you didn't spend a lot of time in Port Nazaru as kind of transient, but that does stick with what you remember from being.
Yeah, no,
way
absolutely. And don't forget, from a background perspective, my background is more of a wild dwarf, so I'm
Yeah.
really out in the jungle more than I am in the city.
Yeah, and that's like when you sort of made your transit through, they kind of that's kind of what you picked up and what you observed in the time that you spent in the city.
All right. Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah, Mary's just made up her mind. All right, so we're all gonna head back out and out in the street or wherever we're going. Okay, so are we gonna look for the two Tabaxi folks? Are any of you guys really still interested in those two? Because I think my decision is made.
How can your decision, and I say this, how can your decision be made if you haven't done what you need to do tomorrow and ask your God?
Oh, don't believe me. If Eldeath says not to do what I think I should do, then I will follow her way.
Yeah, but you've told us that you've made up your mind.
I have made up my mind, but Eldath has not made up my mind. I apologize. I didn't mean to sound so forceful, so commandeering in this group setting. I know it is a group setting, but
Marys, we're going to have a go around at some point. I'm sure of it.
What do you mean by that now, Nellie? Have I offended you in any way? If I did, I do apologize most sincerely.
You have offended me,
Nellie. Now I meant no offense.
You've talked down about our dwarven friend, put your nose up, turned your back, walked away, but because you needed to make sure that we consulted your God in the morning. But now you're telling us that your mind has been made up.
Well, I mean, Nellie, I mean this in all respect. Mushu, he impressed me. He did. At first, he did not, but once he kind of opened up to you folks, I did kind of he endeared himself to me. But I mean, just listen to Echo and her plight. You see how she helps the needy. She rids the world of evil, and she told me of a great evil that is down near the area we need to go to. And if she knows that much information about our destination, how can we not make her one of our on our short list?
So she volunteered some information that she knew that you would like, and suddenly you've gone over to her side. Musharib's has a plight as well. His plight is that he wants to get his homeland back, but I guess that doesn't matter to you. Because it doesn't involve doing charity work or doing or talking to orphans.
No,
there's a lot of dwarven orphans out there too. You know,
his work is charity work. He wants to rid not your homeland, his homeland of the plight of the fire newts that are there, and I can sympathize with that. I can. And if we choose him, if Eldeath says so, then I will follow him and I will help him. You heard me promise him as well. Did you not?
Heard you promise him what? That you were going to talk to Eldeath? Because you just told us that you had made your choice.
Okay, so out of character, I make sure didn't I make a promise to him that we would help him if we chose him? We would help him rid his land of the fire newts.
Yeah, if we chose him tomorrow, but out of character, your character has just told the group that you've made your choice.
I apologize. I shall change my wording. I have my preference. Does that calm your nerves more? Nelly?
And I'm just gonna do a dwarven grunt, and I'm just gonna turn around and slowly and slow walk away.
I understand his frustration, she says to whoever's listening, but I must follow my path. I'm sorry if I offended him or any of you. That is not my intention here. We are here on a mission, are we not?
We all have our goals.
So I'll ask again. Are we to travel to and find the Tabaxi pair and have a conversation with them? Or are the lot of us satisfied with the three that we have interviewed to this point?
I'm satisfied.
And as I slow walk away, I throw over my shoulder, if your God's so powerful, why do we even have to meet these people? Your God should just know.
Oh, my God probably does know, Nelly, but I can't ask her until in the morning. Right, anybody else in the group wanting to go see the Baxies?
No need for me.
All right, so I guess we're going to make our way back to our inn for one more night. And then...
yeah, because if we go with Iku, we can't afford to spend any money tonight at all.
Mary's not going to say anything else. She's done. She doesn't want to piss him off anymore. Just let him vent. It's okay. All right, so yeah, I think we're all in agreement. We're going to head back to the inn for tonight, and then I'll ask my God in the morning, and then we'll make a decision then.
Yep.
All right, so I'll go into my sheet. I'm going to change out one of my spells. What am I going to get rid of?
Do you have any other plans for us tonight, Kev?
I don't know. Do I?
Hold on, let me open my ToA book.
Does somebody want to roll some dice so it sounds like I'm rolling a random encounter?
Hold on. Kevin, do you have a random encounter for us?
Maybe I do now. You don't know. You don't see what I rolled. It's perfect.
All right, so Marriage is going to ask the group for their decision on what spell she should drop in order to speak to her God. Prayer of Healing, which I really don't want to get rid of. I can't get rid of that one. It's either Prayer of Healing or Locate Object. That's my two choices. I didn't know how Locate Object would help us going through the jungle. If someone would describe something to me, I could find it maybe, but it has a limited range on it as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're at the point where Locate Object is going to help us. That will help us later on, but I don't think it will yet.
All right, that's what she's going to forget then. Okay. All right, Kev. So you let us know if we make it through the night, if we get our throats slit.
Random encounter.
Meat grinder.
Yeah, meat grinder. Not
Everybody
like,
dies in town.
We
Next.
we are breakfast next morning.
So, guys, I just rolled this random encounter, and it's really weird. It says the inn you're staying at doesn't have CO detectors, and you all die of carbon monoxide poisoning. Even
it's a-
you.
And it's a gargantuan mimic that.
It's actually cloud kill. It's just designed to be carbon monoxide, which I checked is not technically a poison. So dwarven resilient. Got you beat.
Damn it!
Meat grinder mode. Start your death saves now.
Why do they call it CO poisoning then?
Well, it sounds more badass when it's
Oh,
CO. Yeah. Like IBM. Who calls it International Business Machines? PC, portable computer. Okay, nerd. Go play your portable computer. PC. Wow, that sounds sexy. Anyways, sleepy time. Does anybody want to do anything while people are asleep?
Yonder,
No, I'm going to be asleep.
keep it in your pants, Yonder. I am not interested, Yonder. Is he even here? Did he step away?
Someone stepped away for a few minutes. Actually, this might be a good time. It's 10 o'clock. We've been at it 2 hours. Let's take a let's say a 10-minute break so I can get some water so I don't like wear out my vocal cords.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So see you back at 10:05 Eastern Standard Time, or in 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Kev.
No problem.
All right. So out of character, this is going to be very tough for Mary's. Well, it won't be tough when she talks to her god.
Yeah.
But if her guy comes back and says, like, all three of them are fine,
Yep.
then she's going to have a hard time going with a dwarf.
So Brian, you asked me about touch of the dead, touch dead necrophilia. What?
What did I ask you about? Was it...
Spare the dying.
No, it wasn't Spare the Dying. It was something bigger than that. I think it was Revivify. Let me read it.
I don't know. You sent it to me at like midnight, and I was like half asleep.
Nope, it wasn't Revivify. It was something... I mean, it was Spare the Dying. Is that the one that like extends like by 10 days or something like that?
Let me double check. Spare the dying.
No, it didn't say anything about the Spare the Dying.
Okay, well, you look it up. I'm just gonna go
Okay.
grab a glass of water.
Okay.
God, I'm glad you didn't find the guys with the really crazy voices. Ugh.
What the hell was it? It was something where I touch them, they cannot become undead, and it also extends, like if they are dead, it keeps their body fresh for the raised dead limitation.
Yeah, I have that. I don't have it memorized, but I have the spell listing on.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I was even high enough level to use it yet, but I had a question about how that would potentially, metagame wise, affect the death curse, and I think Kev was going to look it up, see if there's anything in the book about
It
it.
just stops the rotting process, so it doesn't prevent death. You're still dead.
No, I mean, as far as what the curse does to you, this is somewhat meta knowledge.
Right.
I know what the death curse does to you once you've been revised, because Brian knows, but Mary's may not.
Got it.
Sorry, so what was the spell?
I still haven't found it, but I remember the specifics of it. Basically, if someone dies, you can cast this on them, and it extends the time limit, I think, by 10 days before someone can cast Raise Dead on them. and it also prevents him from becoming undead. And so I didn't know if that 10-day thing would hamper the death curse effect.
Was it gentle repose?
Maybe that's what it was. I mean, what level is that?
You touch a corpse or other remains for the duration the target is protected from decay, can't become undead. The spell also effectively extends the time limit on raising the target from the dead. Since days spent under the influence of the spell don't count against the time limit of spells such as raise the dead.
Right. Yeah, so that was
And,
basically I mean, metagame wise, what I'm asking is someone in the party dies, and I cast this on them before they get raised, assuming we are going to raise them somehow. Does that somehow put a stop on the death curse for that 10-day period?
I would say, based on your experience from being at the temple, you know that it keeps their body together, but it doesn't mean that you cast this and then you cast Revivify or whatever spells you were casting at the temple and the person comes back. Otherwise, it would be like... So, yes, it keeps and preserves the body, but it doesn't override or jump the effects of the death curse, if that makes sense.
Okay. So they will continue to lose hit points.
Yeah, it's not like hot wiring the car, so to speak.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I just wasn't sure. All right, I'm gonna step away from the mic. Bio break. I'll be right back in a couple minutes. All right, I'm back.
Wow, you're eager, Brian.
Well,
I'm sure everyone else is off doing the devil's lettuce.
Oh no, I'm here.
Present.
All
Are
right.
you hoping for me to slip up and say something that might give you a slight edge?
Well, maybe.
No devil's lettuce for us.
So, I'm assuming on our way back to the hotel, Mary's was going to ask this question. Maybe we have it during the night. I don't know. But how much total money does the group really have if we need to pick someone that wants all the money up front or 30 days up front or whatever it is?
Well, I can't get into it if someone doesn't want to disclose their money situation.
Okay. I mean, Mary's going to share what she's got. And I was going to ask you, Kev. I don't remember how I got it, but I got a lot more money than what everyone else is saying.
I think you just didn't spend some of your money. I think that's what it was.
Okay, because I got like 156 gold pieces right now.
Yeah, I don't think you spent your starting gold because it was starting gold plus. I think you started with like 80 or something.
Okay.
Kevin made me spend gold in order to get my flavor item.
Ah. You had to find that potion that would turn your skin white?
No.
No, it was he wanted a soda stream. That was his flavor item.
Yeah, and it wasn't the soda stream, the unit itself, so much that he made me spend a lot of money on. It was the stupid CO bottle.
Yep. That's where they get you.
And he wouldn't take the deposit.
I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, so
On the money front, the reason I'm asking is because augury requires me to buy or spend 25 gold pieces worth of stuff in order to cast it. And so if we're wanting to cast this more than 2 times, my money's going to go down really quick. And
so I would love for you to cast this 3 times and then us have not enough money to choose the one you want us to choose.
Don't tell me that. But here's the kicker. She would also want to buy extra so she can ask other questions while they're out in the jungle as well, in case they run into something where they needed guidance again. So that's why I was just wondering, she's going to ask, okay, so how much, spare spending money do we have for things like this?
Being a cleric is hard.
Yep.
I can't say for certain because I don't know if someone wants to role play being stingy. For instance, I imagine Tickcuck would have trouble parting with money or letting people know how much money he has. I'm assuming. I don't actually know if he has money. After all, he is a kobold.
Well, didn't we already establish that Cookie couldn't count anyway?
Exactly. So he doesn't know what he has, but he likes the shinies.
He's got shiny coins.
And I can't tell you what a ranger who's wandering through the forest is going to have. And I can't tell you what... I
think the ranger was pretty poor, as I recall, though. I think he made several comments about how he'd never seen that much money before from the money that Cindy gave us.
Yeah, that might have... Yeah, I think he did make that comment.
Yeah, he could have been lying for all I know, but...
Yeah, what if he was actually a baron and he's just doing this so people don't use him for his money?
So with Cookie's thing, I mean, I got a neat thing that I would role play with Cookie to figure out how much money he's got. I would trade one of my shiny silver ones for one of his shiny silver ones and back and forth until we go through everything he's got, and then I can figure out how much he's got that way.
So Brian, I'm moving the Maris Brian keep up to the player characters, right?
Okay, that's fine.
No, I just want to know, that's the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Player characters. Oh. Get into player characters. Ah, there we go. No.
No, now I'm just below it.
There you go. And Maris delete. I will bring down here. And moral obligation. I will put that into... I'll put that under your character.
Okay.
Woo woo! Hey hey for the monkeys!
So is anybody that's listening right now, would their character share how much gold they've got?
Will's got 85.
Yeah, it's not something my character would be would lie about.
So 85.
My character's got a total of 30. All in.
Wow. All right,
25 here. That's total.
I think that's if I'm keeping up my math, it's roughly 190 between the 4 of us. Is what we've got.
And we need 150
to,
we need 150 to pay her out.
That's to pay who out?
5 gold pieces per day for 30 days.
But not all. Did who are we talking about now?
Well, Iku. Iku and
Mushu.
Azaka.
Are we going to ask? Do you guys want me to ask my god about Azaka, or we want to just do it for Iku and
no, we can
Mushu?
just do the 2 of them. I'm just saying that those 2, the 2 of the 3 require 150 gold up front.
Yep. Both of those two. If it's Iku or Mushu, both of them require 150 up front, right?
Yep.
Okay. So regardless, so that means I have enough or we have, I should say, enough gold for me to cast augury once, and still have money left over to pay them, unless Cookie or shit. I gotta look at my cheat notes over here. What I'm calling everybody, Cookie and Woody, unless they have money as well. I gotta believe Cookie's got at least 10 gold. So that means I would have enough to cast augury twice. Then we'd have exact enough money to pay one of them up front.
I would, however, say that I don't know that my character would be willing to walk into the jungle with 0 gold in his pockets, with no wealth at all.
What are we going to buy in the jungle?
What are we going to buy when we get to Mbala? We're going to need something, somewhere to stay. We're going to need supplies. We're going to need stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Now, was Mushu the one that said he would waive his fee if we helped him with his quest?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It may come down to a decision of economics.
And if I were the DM, I would take that into account when your god replied who would be the best choice for us.
So I think what I'm contemplating doing, this is me, Brian, so you guys tell me if it makes sense, is to help with the money situation. I think she's only going to ask her god about one person. About whether she is the correct guide for us to pick
Whether
for this
she's
journey.
The one that you're in love with.
No, that's not what I said.
Not anymore.
I mean, she's a lawful neutral. I think she is neutral good. Sorry, neutral good, not lawful, neutral good. So she's going to ask, the good, right thing to do, and she's not going to try to be devious about it. She's going to say, okay, so is Eku the one we should choose? And it's again, augury is wheel or woe, so it's either yes or no. And so if the answer comes back no, we can just go with Mushu and hope that's good. Or if Eldeth says yes, then Mary's is done.
Yes, she is.
So that's what Brian is thinking I'm going to do. Are you guys cool with that? You got another way we can spin this that kills 2 birds with 1 casting?
No. No, because the correct answer is to just go with Musharib and not spend any gold at all. And which is interesting because my character has the same alignment, and that's probably why, and I would say that's why he's so on the other side, because he's trying to do the same thing you are, but for what he believes.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. It's like Kev set this up perfectly to pit us against each other.
It's almost like I gave you choices and you made them.
Oh, choices I did.
So let's see. Let's just do a quick mic check. Is everyone or not back yet? So
I'm not back yet. Oh wait, yes I am.
Still out of it, but you can go.
Will is here.
okay, and Brian is here because I just heard him talking
Mm-hmm.
spell that he wants to cast.
And I apologize for being away so long.
That's okay. You did say you weren't feeling super. No, that was Jason. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm down in a hotel room in Texas, and I was saying goodbye to my sister. Sorry.
That's okay. Totally cool. We get it. You put family above D&D. We won't hold that against you.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, so let's get started.
So before Mary's cast this in the morning, first thing in the morning, first light, she's gonna get everybody together, and we're gonna probably just talk about our own personal beliefs before she casts this. And it's from the out of character comments we had before. It sounds like all 3 of you guys are for Mushu, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Don?
Yeah, that other woman was like a predator. I didn't like her.
The Predator? The one that was like
Nice.
giving money to the poor?
She
Evil
was
Mr.
all-
Evil
She
Mr.
was
Rogers.
ogling me and undressing me with her eyes. I didn't like her at all.
The
All right,
way I
so
look at it, I think Mushu is the proper choice. We could always help her out afterwards if time it permits.
okay. Well,
I have no problem. She had a good cause, however, her cause is no better than Mushu's, and Mushu is heading in the direction we need to go into. So my decision has not, my mind has not changed.
all right. So Mary's in this group with, I'm assuming it's everybody, not just these four. We got Cookie and Woody there with us as well.
Oh no, they fully believe in Mushu too.
Okay. No, they're with me.
I asked them. They don't. I asked them. They told me.
So Mary's is going to share with you guys what Iku, I guess, whispered or shared with her in private about the hag that was in Mbala, and she didn't actually share what the hag did. All I know is she said the hag was bad news and needed to be basically taken out, and that was what Mary's promised, that while they were in Mbala, that she would take care, or yeah, she said she would take care of the hag while they were there, because that just goes against everything she believes in, to leave an evil like that alive. So regardless of whether we end up with Eku or Mushu, we are going to go to Mbala still, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And that is something that is going to be a burning desire in Mary's. Okay. So one last question, Mary's, I'll ask you guys. So if all three of you, and don't know about the other two, are already set on Mushu, does it matter what my God says?
You want to know that because you don't want to spend the gold?
I don't know if she's going to actually.
I guess you gotta think about from a character perspective.
Yeah, that's what I mean from a character standpoint.
Would your character quiz us on that first, or would your character just do it to try to strengthen her own argument?
Good point.
I don't want to answer it until you give me your answer. So she'll flat out ask you guys, because she goes, if my God says that we should choose Iku, will the rest of you guys honor that?
I'll take it under advisement.
Maybe we should ask. Go ahead.
Ask what?
I was going to say
There's
maybe.
no way, being familiar with the spell, I would know there's no way for us to, or for her to ask if which of the two we should choose. It's either yes or no.
Oh, you're not there when I talked about how I was going to ask it, Rich?
I'm sorry. I may have been distracted by my grandson. I apologize.
All right. So what I said I was going to do was I was going to ask my God if Eku is the one we should choose between Eku and Mushu.
Okay. And Veli's going to say, do you believe in Eku?
You're asking Mary's if she believes in Eku?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Oh, that's an obvious answer. I hope you didn't spend spell points on that question.
No, I've got a point here.
Yeah, Mary's would have shared with the guys that Eku is her own personal preference, but she will abide by whatever her God tells her.
If she believes in Eku, then maybe she should ask the question about the dwarf instead.
Well, I think if she asks the question the way that Brian's saying she's going to ask it, between Mushu and Eku, is Eku the right choice? That's
Right.
a very binary decision. As opposed to just a general question of, is Eku the right choice?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the same way. I was just thinking, say the same thing, but with, is the dwarf the right choice? But it really doesn't matter because it is.
Well, the only reason I word it that way is because the three of you are already on the dwarf side. So
But
that
what
way,
Brian wants to know is, does it matter what the answer comes back?
Right, because if the answer comes back saying no, she is not the one, then it's okay, it's a done deal. But if he says Eku is the right one, as opposed if I ask if Mushu is the right one, you know what I'm saying? It will confirm either what you guys already believe, or maybe you cast doubt on your decision. You see what I'm saying?
I will abide by your God.
Ooh. And she'll bow at that. The rest of you guys like, yeah, fuck you, Marys. All right, so I'm gonna do this. You guys cool?
I triple dog dare you.
Okay. Nah, there's no Kev's gonna be over in the corners flipping a coin at this point. That doesn't
Well,
matter.
he's been doing that. He's been doing that the whole time. He's been trying to figure out how he's going to answer that question.
That
All right.
is totally not what I've been rolling dice for the random encounter, you guys. Duh. You all have heard me roll dice all night. So why wouldn't I roll it for a random encounter that is brought about by casting augury?
Because
Have you not heard of
you're quickly reading the difference between wheel woe and wheel and woe,
Have you guys
or no answer whatsoever.
Yeah.
have you guys never
25
heard
gold.
of augury demons?
A Gary demon, right?
Yeah, a Gary demon.
a Gary.
Okay.
The Gary.
Wasn't Gary the name of that snail on SpongeBob?
Yeah,
His
but
pet
I
snail?
guess no one's seen Final Space
I haven't even
on
heard of Final
Netflix.
Space.
No.
Oh, it's really good. I suggest you watch it. There's a character named Gary, and the one guy's like, "Bring me the Gary." So when you said a Gary demon, that's what. Yeah. Anyways,
All right, so Marys will get up first thing in the morning, and the night before she'll ask the guys, "Is you're more willing to go with her when she goes to speak to her God, or she can do it by herself? If you guys trust her, it's up to you guys." But she'll get up in the morning and she'll try to find somewhere where there's a steel pool of water within the city. Would I have seen one of those somewhere, or is there a temple to Eldath here, Kev?
I don't think there's a temple to Eldath specifically here. No.
Okay. And she's going to try to find just somewhere where there's like a still pool of water somewhere, whether it be a fountain or she can find a pond somewhere, or somewhere where there's a nice crystal clear steel pool of water.
Oh, so not the dog bowl that's kind of next to where all the sleeping dogs are laying right now?
No.
Okay.
That's like heresy. So she'll find some place, and whether you guys are with her or not, she's going to cast augury and ask the question, like I said, of the two, Eku and Mushu, is Echo the one we should choose?
Okay, so you're going to cast a spell, you're going to ritual cast a spell, I assume, so you don't use a spell slot.
Correct.
Okay. So what is the question you're asking specifically?
Okay, I'm going to say it again. So let me think through this
Type it
before
out.
I say it. Yeah, type it out. Of our two choices, Eku and Mushu, and I'll say their names right. I just don't have it in front of me. Of those two choices, is Echo the one we should choose for a successful completion of our mission? How's that?
Type it, please, because I want to.
Shit! I just made it up out of my head. I gotta type it. Okay. All right. So, of the two choices, Eku and again, I don't have their names in front of me, so I know I'm going to misspell this. I'll just
Musha Rib.
yeah.
It's like Musha Rib.
Yeah, it's really Musha Rib.
I like a good Tony Roma's musha rib.
We don't have Tony Roma up here.
When I was in British Columbia, we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a
I
Tony
get-
Roma. We had a Tony Roma in Coquitlam.
I see. It's interesting because things usually don't make it over the mountain, and then a lot of restaurants start in Alberta and then go west before they come here. Like there's a whole bunch. Like the White Spot is in.
Oh, I
The
miss
West
White
Coast.
Spot. I miss White Spot so much.
And like we don't have Red Robin.
Oh, and I miss a
Ontario.
good Red Robin burger too.
Yeah.
You know what? The Red Lobster though in Canada is so much crappier than the actual Red Lobster in the States.
Oh, it's garbage. I hate it. I've never been to it in the U.S., but
We
like,
loved it. We loved it in the U.S. when we would just be outside Seattle and we'd go to Red Lobster. It was fantastic. The Red Lobster in Canada is terrible.
I bet it's worse here in Missouri, the middle of the country.
isn't that where they get the best seafood?
I remember being in Kansas City and everybody wanted to go for sushi, and me being from Vancouver was like, no, I'm vetoing that choice.
That's when you get
Right?
catfish.
Yeah.
Does it come with the guy's fingers who is noodling in the river?
Exactly.
Oh, you got the pears!
No, that's in the turtle soup.
Turtle soup's really good, especially the turtle drumsticks.
All right, my question is out there. Hopefully, I word it so you can't take advantage of it.
Of the two choices, Eku and Mushu, is Eku the one we should choose in order to complete our mission?
And I'm assuming Eldath knows our mission of finding out the cause of the death curse. That was our mission, right?
I mean,
I thought our mission was fire newts.
No, the reason why we came to Cholt.
Okay.
You mean the reason why she transported us here, or the reason why we're all individually here?
The reason why she transported us here, and we agreed to it. Wow, I must have worded it good. Kev's really contemplating how to answer this.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 options.
It's wheel, woe, or undetermined. What's the fourth option?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Woe. It's wheel or woe, or wheel and woe, or nothing.
He's going to tell me wheel and woe. I just know it.
So, as you're sitting there, tossing, what are you using as your the focus for the divination? Like, I know it says golden rods in this case, but it could be bones or rune stones.
It says
what are
specially
you
marked sticks, bones, or similar tokens with at least 25 gold pieces. So, I imagine, based on my faith, I know what kind of sticks and bones or whatever shit I gotta find, and either the night before heading back to the hotel, or maybe that first thing in the morning, I'll go out to the market shops and find this stuff, whatever it is. Man, I gotta believe it has something to do with my god's symbol, the pool, the waterfall going into the steel pool. So probably some kind of water, or maybe a smooth pebble, or whatever, something like that.
Now, it doesn't say that it uses those
Yeah.
items up. So
Yeah.
would you
sorry.
actually need to spend 25 every time,
No.
or you just have to have a nice set?
Oh,
So I was thinking about that, and you don't have to spend 25 every time.
cool.
Because basically what it is, it's like you have a set of rune stones that you're attached to, or whatever makes
Yeah, 'cause-
sense, right?
Yeah, because whatever that spell is that asks for a 200 gold diamond says that it specifically says that it's destroyed in the process.
Oh, that's right. Sweet. All right, so it's up to you, Kev, whether I had this already, or
I
if
will.
go ahead.
Seeing as Christmas is approaching, I will say, through your travels and being at the temple, you would have had something that's important and that you use as your divining rod, so to speak, in seeking an answer.
Okay, I imagine it'd be something like fish bones, a specific fish that's been preserved and petrified, just the bones of it, and I flop it around in the water and call upon my God to hear me and give me her answer, her guidance.
So as you throw these apple cores around a pool of water, and you're getting some strange looks from people who maybe don't necessarily recognize this action, you begin to hear what starts off as a very faint sound in your ears. Well, it feels like it's your ears, but you get that it's coming from sort of in this inside of you from somewhere. But it's the sense that's associated with sound as a sensory. And you begin to feel a little warmth in your body. And as you sit there and you wait and you take the time to cast the ritual, you get a feeling, or rather you make sense of the sound. That you get. I'll whisper it to you, actually.
Okay.
Just
And just for flavor purposes, if you're okay with this, Kev, since I said
Yeah.
I got like fish bones, imagine when I ask this question, I would either see a vision of like the fish, whole again, or I see the fish like rot and like sink to the bottom of the pool that I'm standing here doing this at for a wheel or a woe. And if it doesn't do anything, then that's the either or. But
okay, but do you have a specific type of fish in mind?
I don't know, like a lake trout, just something small.
A lake trout. Okay.
Rainbow trout. How about that? There you go. Rainbow trout sounds good. I'm sure they got those in
rainbow
Forgotten Realm.
Yeah, I'm sure there are rainbow trouts in Forgotten Realm.
They're called color spray trout in Forgotten Realms. Chromatic trout. I don't know. Did you whisper to me?
Well, I can't because I was trying to think of the sound of a lion roaring or something like that.
Oh, no, that's
Fish
cool.
don't make sounds.
No, that's cool. You do whatever you want to. If I'm screwing up what you're going to say, then you go ahead. I apologize.
Sorry, I'm just no. That's not you. I'm just trying to make it work with the flavor you've given me.
No matter what you're at, I'm going, okay, so what do you mean by that? And I'm assuming whatever you write, I'll have cast this before, so I'll somewhat be able to recognize what the hell she meant. I hope. Otherwise, everyone else is going to laugh at me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Boom boom. A do 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 do. Did you whisper it to me in Discord or in
No, I'm typing it out. I just,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
you had to pick an awkward thing. That's like,
just shit can that. If it's too difficult, then don't worry about it. Do what you're planning on doing. I'm not trying to make your job harder. We can do that next time. All right. 1 second while I look that up. Okay. Wow.
I
Alrighty
know,
then.
so descriptive. Ugh,
No, that's good. I like that. Thank you, Kev.
you're welcome.
All right. So, did you guys come with me? Or are you guys waiting back at the inn for me to return?
I'm waiting at the end.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, Will is gonna go watch you pray.
Oh, you're gonna watch me pray? Okay. That's fine. She's not gonna hide.
No, I was teasing. No, Will is not going.
Okay. All right. So I'll make my way back into the inn. I'll kind of gather you guys all around. And she goes, Eldeth spoke to me this morning. She heard my prayer. And the signs, well, she tells me that Eku is the right choice.
I think Kev wouldn't want to split the party.
What do you mean? Who's this Kev? Who's this Kev you're talking about now? Do we have a new party member I don't know about? She looks
No.
over at Yonder. Yonder, did you meet some young lassie named Kev?
So I want to know more specifically what the answer was.
Specifically, what do you mean, child?
Well, I want to know, was there any doubts? Was the
No,
the question that you asked,
It was very clear to
is
me.
Eku the one we should choose? But did Eku indicate that Musharib was a bad choice?
Or was it the right choice for you or the party? Our
And
crew.
And I'll share with you guys my exact question of what I asked of her, and it's in chat there.
Okay, so then I'll say right after that, well, this doesn't speak as to whether or not Musharib was the one we should choose. You didn't say was Iku the only one we should choose.
I'm asking, is Iku the one we should choose in order to complete our mission?
Yeah, but not the only one. I think that we should bring both. Musharib doesn't cost us. Musharib doesn't cost us anything.
We should hire both?
I think I would be more confident with Musharib with us.
And she'll look around to the rest of the party. Anyone else have?
I just kind of chuckle. No, I like the way you work. That satisfies everybody's needs. Now, can we come up with the coin for this woman?
So Mushu will do it for free if we help him with the fire nuke problem, right?
Correct.
And Eku just wants her money up front, and she'll take us wherever we want. Okay, so if we are to do both, Eldeth has spoken that Eku is the one we should choose, but I will not tell you that we cannot also bring along Mushu if you folks choose to. But Eku is the one that will lead the party, and Mushu must understand that.
Sorry, guys. I assume you're having this in the bottom of the inn, right? Or in where are you having this conversation? Are you all in around Maris's pool, or
no? We didn't go with Maris. She came back to the inn to tell us her results.
Okay, and as you guys are in the inn, you hear a very heavy rain pouring outside. And a lot of wind blowing through the town.
And does it sound like it's just a typical storm, or is it like something out of the ordinary?
Does it sound magical in nature?
I'm sorry, do you have magical hearing aids?
I do. I have a +0 in Arcana.
Seems like a real tempest is starting to blow.
Well, I do have detect magic.
Are you going to use your detect magic?
I can do it as a ritual. If the party is like paranoid about this, at first I just want to figure out if I could like insight or something, whether this is like normal rain, I'm not to worry about, or something I got to be concerned about.
I will say.
Is this a normal Cheltian storm?
I will say the people in the inn are pretty chilled and not on edge, beyond like it being really rainy.
It's a hurricane. So no, I'm not going to cast a detect magic.
It's the rainy season.
And Maris, as you've kind of know that sort of with each day, like you know your character kind of knows about the each day thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you share that with the party or not, that's up to you, because not everyone necessarily knows that specific fact.
I'm not sure.
Your character.
I'm not sure Brian understands what you're saying. The each day thing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you whispering something to me?
If it's local to Chult, would I know the each day thing?
No.
All right.
You asked me about it earlier. It was part of the gentle repose talk.
Oh. Okay. Nah, I don't think I'm going to share that yet.
Okay.
Until it becomes pertinent. But do I think that has something to do with the rain?
No. That was just, I just wanted to let you know that
okay.
Not everyone necessarily knows that. That's all.
Okay. All right, so can we pool our money together to hire both of them? Is everybody on board with this idea?
To be honest, Nogrin doesn't want to make it that complicated. Nogrin just wants to get to where we're going. He's not gonna demand Musharib comes with.
So metagame wise, asking Kev, is us hiring both really an option, or is that going to totally screw you and everything else up? Metagame wise.
His other group hires none. We hire two.
I don't know. Does it?
I guess we're gonna find out now. I'm totally all for it.
Because from Mary's standpoint, she's okay with that. Because Eldeth said to take Eku. Everyone else seems to be on board with Mushu. She wasn't, picking up any evil vibes off of him.
Yeah, the question didn't say Musharib was bad. It just said that Iku was was the one we should choose.
Right. So Mary's on board with this as long as we can afford, and we'll leave it up to, I guess, Eku if she wants to. I guess it's really up to us if we want to keep paying her beyond going to Imbala to help Mushu.
And I think that my in-game, and this will be an in-game discussion because we're talking just the four of us. If we decide later on that we don't want to help, that we just don't have it in us to head over to Rakamar, we could just pay him the gold we owe him. His advertisement doesn't say we have to pay in advance.
Just 5 gold a day.
The other ones say we do have to pay in advance. His doesn't. So if we finish and end up having some gold after surviving everything that we've survived, we could just say, you know what? No, here's your 150.
We'll have to find some gold along the way. Because we don't have 300 gold.
Absolutely, but we don't need it right now anyway.
Right.
We could take him on for credit, and if we don't end up having 150 gold at the end of the time, then we do the quest, or we kill him.
So great. It went from we all like this guy, to we're going to kill him.
No, I think my
so we're gonna do the
character,
least to buy option.
my character. That's exactly right. My character feels that he's a good choice to have with us.
Agreed.
He trusts him as a dwarf,
Okay.
as a fellow dwarf, even if he is an albino.
All right. Anybody disagree with us taking both of them?
No,
I
so
think
we
that
have to
works.
Come up with money for where's that go?
If they'll work together, at least.
Okay. Well, shit. You want, now that I know that it doesn't cost me 25 gold every time, you want me to ask the same question about Mushu?
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. You could ask Mushu now. You could go back out for 10 minutes and say, is having Mushu belong a good choice?
Yep.
Except for the fact that if you cast it twice in the
Do
same...
you have augury?
Sorry?
Does your character have augury?
No,
As I remember augury from my dwarven childhood days, it just changes the DC slightly. That's all it does.
Yep. And obviously Mary's would know
Third
that.
time's bad. Second time's not as bad.
So yeah, if you guys want me to do that, I'll go do it again, but I will share with you guys there's a chance that I may not get a straight answer. Right? Or is that right? Straight or accurate? I forget what word.
I don't think it's accurate. I think it's you'll just get nothing.
It's a 25% chance for this is metagame wise, so but Mary's would know this. 25% chance for each casting after the first that you get a random reading. DM makes us roll in secret. So he can really F with us. So I'll do it. So, Kev, I'll go back out to my pool knowing that I could get a bad reading, and I'll ask the same question, but this time of Mushu.
So you're asking...
I would change the question, Brian.
How do you
So
want me to
you're
change it?
asking me, Iku and Mushu, is Mushu the one we should choose in order to complete our mission?
That's right. No, based upon what Nelly was telling me, I would just word that differently, saying that is bringing Mushu. I'll run this over the guys before I ask my god. So my question would be: is allowing Mushu to
As a second
guide, is that a good decision? Is that okay? You guys want me to try to be more specific somehow?
Will that help us to more easily complete our mission? Is that a good decision?
Or even simpler, if Mushu will assist our mission.
Yeah, will Mushu assist us? Yeah, that's a good one. Will Mushu be beneficial to our journey to complete our quest? Is that
having Mushu as a second guide be beneficial
on
our journey to complete our quest?
Yep, that's good. Yeah, having Mushu as a second guide be beneficial to complete our quest.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? You guys good with that?
Yes.
Yep.
That's the one.
Did you catch that, Kev? I got to write it again.
Write it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. Well, get the next one ready too, because I want the cats to come with us too later.
So we're just gonna hire all the guards. If you don't like them, we're just gonna kill them. All right. So, shit. What would we say? Will bringing Mushu as a second guide. What did we say? Be beneficial?
Hiring
or bringing? Hiring. Doesn't matter.
Is there a difference? Because we're technically not going to pay him until...
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Will bringing Mushu as a second guide be... What did we say? Beneficial? Beneficial to completing our quest.
Mission. You used the word mission before.
Well, whichever. What, you guys tell me. Use mission or quest?
Well, I would keep mission consistent, because then the answer is going to be consistent. You're not asking potentially two different things from an all-knowing God.
Okay. So I'm gonna read it. Will bringing Mushu as a second guide be beneficial to completing our mission?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. There it is. 10 more minutes of me flopping in the water with some fish bones, petrified fish bones. I love that sound. It'll be even more interesting because once I go back and tell you guys.
He already rolled.
Will bringing Mushu as a second guide be beneficial to completing our mission?
Oh, he rolls twice. Holy shit.
Oh, that sounded like percentile dice.
I thought the first one was percentile dice. The second was an encounter one. There's a water weird in my pool.
You see bubbles rise from your pool, and a tentacle shoots out and grabs your face. Roll initiative.
Just you, because we're not there.
Yeah. Again, you hear sounds that sound real, but are not the sounds that are happening from around you, and you get that same warm feeling of that communication or that bond you have with Eldath that you kind of feel when you channel or talk to him, to kind of like the reassuring thought that someone's listening.
Okay, I'm setting the hook. I'm getting ready to pull. I want to get an answer. That wasn't my answer, was it?
No.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
Whew.
It's like, sorry guys, I don't know. He could kill us in our sleep. He could help us find 100,000 gold and treasure. He could be the source of the death curse. Kev, I'm sorry for doing this to you, man.
I'm totally not.
Okay. Okay.
I messaged up to Don that this is what I was going to do.
All right, so I'm assuming I went to my spot by myself again?
Pardon?
No, this is for the party. Did I go to my spot by myself again?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. All right, so I come back and I'll tell you guys how I didn't really get a yes or a no answer. The sign that I got was it could be either or, about Mushu being beneficial to completing our mission as a second guide. So that to me tells me it's unclear.
All right. Well, what does the rest of the group want to do?
I think it's a good change if they'll work together. Have we even asked?
Yeah,
No.
I would say let's talk to the both of them, see if they'll work together.
Yeah, didn't Iku say something somewhat disparaging about Mushu?
Yes, Iku did. Yep.
Okay. All right, so Mary's just taking it to herself that, well, Mushu did seem a little bit more eccentric than Iku. Maybe that was just the issue. All right, guys, so are we in agreement? We are going to go ahead and move forward with Eku leading the party, but also with the help, assistance of Mushu?
Oh, you put it totally differently than I would have.
Well, we were in agreement, though. We got the definite sign from Eldath that Eku was the one. Mushu is...
Yeah, but your question did not say Aku leading the party be beneficial. The question was, should we choose Aku in order to complete our mission? Aku could be in a box.
All right, but how are we spin this? One of them have got to be in charge, right? We can't have two guides leading us
I don't
in
know.
potentially two
I don't
different
know.
directions.
I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see Kevin play that duality.
What am I like? What was that movie? Split?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, start rolling up extra characters that Kevin can play. We're going to be a small army of 14 heading out.
Well, we really don't know how it's going to work out until
Right.
we talk to the two of them.
So let's go approach them. So who do you want to approach first?
Well, since Eku's the one that kind of said some disparaging remarks about Mushu, should we go
Let's
to her
ask Aku
first? Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay. All right, so we'll go to the spot where she told us to find her in the morning, Kev, and kind of approach her and share with our plans of we want to choose her, but we also want to bring along Mushu. And I'll try to play it up to the fact that I'm the goody good like her, and he spoke of this plight of his homeland, and we will eventually help him on that journey as well. So that's part of the reason why I'm saying this to her, to kind of help convince her to go along with it, about why we should bring both of them along.
So you guys are heading out in the tropical storm that has since blown in.
I mean, it's not like
Are we heading
keeping us from
heading out? I mean, we're in the town.
Yeah. Sorry, yes. But it is, when you go out, it is pouring quite hard. Anyways.
Is that something we should be concerned about?
No.
And I'll ask some of the people around. If we don't see anybody out walking the streets for whatever reason, then I'll stop and ask, okay, is there something wrong with the rain? Should we not be out here in this? What's going on?
Like, you see people, like, kind of dashing out from under a stall, and just, like, as you're out, you notice that some of the features you saw on walls in squares flowing as the water comes through, and turning wheels, maybe spinning things like weather mains, sort of harnessing the power that is the rain in this case.
Okay, but
And
nothing
the
looks
powerful-
dangerous as far as the rain. I mean, no one's like, hey, get out of the rain. You don't know what you're doing. It's not like acid rain or shit, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
It is not acid or magical rain.
Okay. Well, the marriage isn't going to be concerned about getting wet.
Besides, weren't you just out in the pool of water doing your thing?
Yeah, I got my hands
You're already
wet.
soaking wet. You were there for 10 minutes.
Not sure if I waded in the water or not, but
No, it was pissing rain on top of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He told us about the storm before you went out the second time.
Yep, that's true.
It's very true. I did do that. Okay, so you guys go out, and you can see Yiku sort of huddled under I guess the awning, or a roof that's sticking out from the side of a building, or maybe it's a ledge or overhang, and she's there again with kind of this other group of orphans or old people who just seem to be kind of hanging around her, and they all kind of look a little tattered and torn, very similar to the group you saw yesterday.
Okay.
And she sees you, and she waves to you and says, "Come under the awning! Get out of the rain! It's quite wet."
And Mary's will take her up on that, and I'm assuming the rest of the party's with us. We'll try to see if we can fit underneath this thing with her and the 12 or 40 kids, whatever it is she's got around her.
Just a wee little dwarf.
Yeah, but you're stout. Oh, wait, no, maybe you're not. I don't know.
I'm a little stout.
Short and stout.
I'm like a teapot.
Yep.
Tip them over.
All right, so again, I'll be the one to kind of approach her and tell her that we've made a decision that we want to hire both her and Mushu. Again, same thing I said before. The main reason I must tell her is because of the plight of his people and his homeland. That we agreed that in exchange for his assistance to leading us in and through the jungle, that we're going to eventually help him with his uh, fight the blight of the fire newts. But first things first, you want to go to Mbala. And does she have any issues with working with Mushu?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys all huddle in under the roof, and she says, you guys are looking to hire 2 guides. Well, I'm sure Musha Rib's plight is very near and dear to his heart, but I don't think it's exactly quashing evil from the jungle. And truth be told, I'm sure he's very one-tracked and doesn't see the larger picture. I am a little worried that he would not cooperate with me. Not to imagine I assume you guys are looking to only pay one of us.
Well, then Mary's will be up front. She'll look at the rest of the group like, okay, am I okay to like tell her the whole spiel about his fee? You guys cool with that?
Well, truth be told, she's the only one asking for money up front. In his plight,
His
evil
payment.
is evil. If
His payment.
people are kicked out of their ancestral, that is an evil act.
And so our payment to him may not be in gold, but we're still paying him. So yes, we're going to be paying both.
Yeah. I see the argument on both sides of this.
And Mary's like, and like I said, we've agreed to help him with his plight to take care of the fire newts. And as far as I'm concerned, I haven't shared this with the rest of the group. I don't think we've discussed it. But once she helps us get through Ulanga and Mbala, then we can be free of her. She's free to stay with us, or she can go back home. But if she wants to accompany us onto Harakama to help with the Mushu's homeland, she's more than welcome, but we will not force her to go any further than that. And what say you, Iku?
You know, in the jungle, we have a saying. Too many queens, not enough ants.
You made that up.
She goes, I would love to assist, but I fear Musharib will be far too driven for his cause, and well, I guess he would stop at no end to free Herkamar from, well, the newts, as you say. And quite frankly, I don't think he would help you go the other way. He might take you to Umbala, but surely, like a dog with a bone, eventually he's just going to want to get what he gets. What he wants, rather.
Mary's response is, the Sisters of Peace have a saying too. They say a fish in each hand is better than a fish in the face. So, with that being said, we're looking to you to guide us to Mbala, and then Mushu will be the one to guide us the rest of the way to Harakama if you don't want to join for that part of the journey.
So just so that I'm clear, is Iku trying to say that that Musharib's going to take us there, but he's not going to help us with anything? Because she hasn't really told us that she's going to help us with anything either. Just that she wants to vanquish evil.
Either scout is going to assist in getting us to where we need to go.
We're paying them to guide us. That's it.
Yes, and with Musharib, we are going to be the ones doing the dirty work to clean out his home. I don't believe we'll be getting help from him either. But that's the cost of, that's why we're not paying him 150 gold. So either way, it's a balanced equation.
So Mary's will ask that question of Eku if we're talking amongst each other. So with that being said, Eku, was it your intention to help us fight off the hag, if it comes to that? Or are you there to simply guide us there and let us do it?
She's thinking.
She's thinking. I think Kev's reading.
She says, I would certainly welcome your help in getting rid of the hag. I cannot do it single-handedly.
But you will assist in us if there's a fight.
That, with regards to the hag, yes. And, reasonably speaking, she would assist you with evil and the way, dispelling evil in the way that she can. She's implying that Musharib would be very focused on his end goal, which is certainly not, which is, I guess, more streamlined and focused than rather than the broader elimination of evil from the jungle and evil, which,
But he already agreed that he was going to guide us through the first objective before going on to the second, which was further along. So
Right.
that I don't see a problem.
Yeah, because he agreed that he was going to help us finish our objective so that
Yep.
we could finish his.
He's an our employee.
Because it's basically in line. So we hit the first place, then Herkimer, and then the second place. So I don't see there being a conflict there. Now, Iku, you say that you'll be assisting us against the hag. What are your skills? What do you bring to a fight that would be of assistance to us? If we are to provide tactics and plan for group fighting as a group, we should really understand what you bring to the table. Have it all above board, so to speak.
So you're asking her what?
She's just said that she's going to help us fight the hag. And so I'm asking her flat out, how? What are your abilities? What do you bring to a fight so that we can plan accordingly?
Are you asking for her stat block?
Class, I think, is what he's asking.
Yeah, basically, what how would you assist us in battle? Are you going to provide, a fighting hand, a healing hand, a magic hand, or are you going to sit back and just sing songs and make us all be more efficient? So yes, it's my way of saying, what's your class and what's your specialty?
She says that she can offer her support.
She's not making a great argument here.
Sorry.
I'm quickly losing favor.
Sorry, by support, she means, well, I can make us some food and water in the jungle. I can cure some ailments that might befall you, as well as perhaps something more serious.
Can Mary's make like some kind of a check based on this, to know what class she is? Because if not, she's just going to ask her. So, are you a druid?
Or a cleric?
Or a ranger?
She's describing things that I have also done over my lifetime, so I'll ask that flat out. Are you a divine healer?
She's an NPC.
Right.
With various skills.
So a spellcaster then.
Yeah, she would be a spellcaster, and I guess what you would typically put as a support type caster. Although she's not afraid to get in it into the thick of things either.
Okay. All right, so Marriage, go ahead. So this
As
guy,
opposed to Musharib,
Very
who's definitely some sort of fighter with his lovely wooden. I think you called it. You said he had a wooden mace in his hand. I think is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
that could be Druid
full
too,
armor.
if it's wood.
True.
All right, so Marriage is going to ask her. So, if we agree to hire both you and Mushu, do you accept? Again, our intention is you lead us the way to Umbala, and from there we have Mushu lead us to Harakama. From that point, it's your decision whether you want to staying our employee from that point forward, or if you want to cut ties after that point. And she'll look to the rest of the group. You guys okay with that?
Yes, and so long as we are clear that we are the employer.
Yeah.
Here. We are
I mean,
paying your fee.
in essence, and as the dwarf, I'll lay it out. In essence, we're bringing two guides. Would
Yes.
you like to take our money and help us get where we need to go?
Mm-hmm.
And your
Well said.
and your goal is to get to Umbala.
Initially.
She says, "Well, if Musharib will take you to Umbala, he can take you to Umbala. I have no desire to work with him."
Oh, see, now that's just hard ass right there.
Mm.
So you will not work with him, is what you're telling us.
No, I'm a guide, not a mercenary for hire.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
No. Especially when you requested our assistance to take care of a hag for you. This is going to require a little bit more thought and discussion, I think, folks. I think the crew should gather together and go somewhere else and speak.
Mary's going to have a disappointed look on her face. Says, Eku, you know the connection that you and I have. I want you to be part of this, but if you cannot work with Mushu, then that sheds a dark light upon you. Hope you see that.
Oh, I understand, but what I do in looking to rid the jungle of a greater evil, unfortunately I don't. With Mushu, I feel his drive is solely focused and a distraction from what is better for all. That he's more of the needs of a few rather than the needs of many.
So if
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Each person has her own sails and they catch the wind they need. I wish you luck. Then I turn around and walk away.
Shit! Mary says in her brain, not out loud. She'll still extend her hand to Echo and says, let us talk. We will be meeting with Mushu to ask him the same question, but I can't give you an answer right now. Hopefully we'll be back.
I'll be here.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. All right, guys. So on our walk to meet Mushu, what the hell, guys? What are we going to do now?
Exactly. Well, we go talk to Mushareb. I
Ed,
just found there's too many contradictions there. I'm not quite sure I trust her anymore. She was winning me over initially with our discussion yesterday, but today I don't know. I do not feel comfortable with that decision.
but did you not say, and this is kind of out of character first, if I ask you this or not, are you the one that said that you would follow whatever my God said?
No, I did not say that.
Okay, that was somebody else. Okay.
I
never
was
mind.
there when it was said, but I
Okay.
did not echo. That's
And it wasn't me, so I can tell you who it was.
Yeah, must have been done. All right.
He shall not be named. So,
So on our walk there, Marys will say she's obviously disappointed in the fact that she said she won't work with Mushu, but Marys is still going to believe that Eku is the right choice based on what Eldath shared with her and with you guys.
yes.
But we can still go talk
It
to.
may be it may just be the way of these guides that they refuse to work. They must be.
Well, let's find out what Musharib says.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's
we may
hard,
get the exact same feedback from him that we got from. So,
if neither of them will work together, then we can make a decision. Then
agreed.
A battle royale. See who gets their way.
That's right.
All right, so let's go find Mushu, Kev.
Okay. He's not that hard to find. He's you ask around and you see the albino dwarf sort of next to a stall under an awning to kind of escape the rain, and he has a bit of a mug in his hand, and he's drinking, and his back is towards you guys, so he doesn't necessarily see you coming forward.
I'll let Nelly be the face of the party for this conversation, but with an intent ear.
Okay, so I approach him and basically run it by him. Listen, I think we're in the market here for 2 guides. We think that we're stronger as a larger group. We are considering bringing you, Musharib, along, and we have gotten some good feelings regarding bringing Iku along. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, Nalgren, she's not one of us, and she would have nothing to do with Rakamar, and I don't see what she adds to the party that you and I, 2 strong albino dwarfs, couldn't bring ourselves.
It's been an implication here, Musharib, that you're going to be happy to guide us to our destination. But your focus is that on Rakamar, and that you are going to either cut and run, or you are going to be so focused on your goals that our goals don't matter to you. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll take you to Ambala, and as per our agreement, I cannot defeat Rakamar myself, or the fire newts there's simply too many for one noble albino dwarf to handle, but I would use your help, and I take you to Umbala, you go with me to Harakamar, clear it out, and then you're on your way to continue, and well, if you still need a guide at that point, I can help you.
So let's hold on a second. You tell me that you'll take us to Umbala, and then once we get to Umbala, we're going to start heading off to Rakamar, and then do your thing, and then come back and finish our quest. Is this what you're telling us?
That is the agreement, is we go to Umbala, you do what you need to do in Umbala, and then we continue on.
Are you going to assist us in any way, shape, or form in Umbala, or are you just guiding us there?
Well, I can guide you there, and if there's a bit of a rough spot, I suppose I can get my elbows greasy. But you know the way us albino dwarves always stick together, isn't that right? And he kind of slaps you on the back.
And as he slaps me on the back, I slough his hand off and say very specifically, I am not an albino dwarf. You know that I'm from the wildlands. You are intelligent enough to be able to tell that. So let's be serious here. Are you outright saying that you just want dwarves in this mission? Is this what I'm getting from you?
No. We need help of all kind, but surely you and I understand the importance of, freeing our ancestral home so we can go back and have what is rightfully ours.
Again,
A
That
dwarf
is-
in need is a dwarf indeed, my friend.
Nice one.
So you are saying that you will lend arms in both our mission and in the clearing out of Rekma when it
Of
comes to
course.
that. You will just not guide us there, but you will be an active participant in whatever battles may come.
I mean, yes, I won't die for you if that's what you're asking, but I will help you, and I'm willing to die for Harakamar if I know we're freeing it. But if you guys do something stupid and, well, get yourselves into a large pickle, I'll do my best to help you out, but by no means am I a fool.
But if we agree to bring you with us, or to have you guide us in return for helping you with your Hrakamar problem, how does that? Why can we not have another guide help us also to Umbala? More hands make for stronger work.
Well, this guide knows better than that guide, and that guy thinks they know better than this guide, and really it's a recipe for disaster. Not many parties with two guides come back. It's, well, how you say there's work to go around.
So, out of character, Kev, do you want us to
Yeah.
continue to roleplay this, or are we getting the idea here that it's one or the other?
You're getting the idea that it's kind of one or the other. It's not necessarily like, it might be maybe all the guides are in it together, maybe some are a bit more above board and paying their taxes to Joe Ball and others aren't, and maybe there's implications there, but you're kind of getting the feeling that no two guides other than the wine and flask sort of
Oh, I get it. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to say then you're going to need to hold on because we've got some pretty hefty decisions to make, and I'm going to turn and walk away from the dwarf.
He kind of scoffs a little and continues to drink and mutters, as you walk away, very just like.
All right.
As he walks away, Mary's going to walk up to him a little closer and says, "So, Mushu, it's no secret that you and I have shared the desire to rid your homeland of evil, but I must ask you something else that would put you in a better light, at least in my eyes. I'm not going to lie to you that I prefer Eku over you, but is there anything that you know about Mbala that would be that'd be beneficial for us to choose you over Eku?"
Say Hag. Say Hag.
I don't want to say it because I want to know if he knows anything about it.
You guys are asking me all the tough questions today. Gosh, it's almost like you guys don't have augury or something.
It's almost like we're going to go talk to Joe Ball and find out if he wants to fund our mission.
Shit.
Prep for that.
I gotta believe Rand has gotta be happy he's not here. He'd be like, "Shit, let's go, guys, come on."
Rand's rolling over in his grave right now.
So what I'm looking for, Kevin, is does he know any details about Mbala like Eku did? Because that's gonna play into whether or not Mary's even has an inkling of changing her mind.
I mean, if I'm gonna metagame this, I think you just choose a freaking guide and go. And
Yep.
There are certain things that go your way and certain things that don't go your way depending on the guide that you got.
Yep. I know.
So we're spending an awful lot of time.
Yep.
On a decision that really doesn't matter.
All decisions matter because they all have consequences.
Yeah, but metagaming again. These modules are all written so that the consequences are different, but they balance out.
All right. So if you guys want to have the conversation, I mean, Mary's is still all on board with Eku.
Why isn't it fucking... Sorry, I'm just trying to find something here.
And Mary's logic is strongly influenced by her augury with Eldath. What say you, the rest of you?
Well, Nalgren is very disappointed in the stubborn answers of who he thought was a sort of compatriot.
Okay. Don?
Will is unsure at this point, and he's going to abstain.
Way to ride the fence.
Right?
No pressure, Rich.
Well,
But I don't know. I mean,
no.
did
There is, for me, no. For Fred, there is no pressure because he is who he is, and his argument is this. I know our supply of coin is limited. The fact is, if we go with the dwarf, we don't have it to pay up front. We get to the same locations we need to go to, and possibly gain an ally should we succeed in freeing his home of the fire news. With the woman, she was a little, I don't know, too circumspect for me, especially when asked how she would assist, saying that she would support us in our efforts, especially against the hag, is nice to say. But I look to Mary's and I'm like, but we have two divinely inspired healers and support people already. So tactically, I don't think that would be the right choice to go. We may still see this hag. We may still have to defeat her in our travels. And if
and
that's
with
the
that being
case,
said, I think Mushu made it pretty clear he wasn't interested in helping in that regards.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think-
and I'll pause there for a second. Musharib would tell you that, well, you know, Mbala used to be quite the city, but something dreadful happened there, and, well, I don't think it's much more than, you know, how we say, it's kind of like Harakamar, a ghost town, but
right.
not as nice as Harakamar.
But with that being our first stop on our journey that he's already agreed to get us to, no, I don't know. I'm still swaying towards the dwarf.
Well, and I
But
think if
I
it's,
will go
if it's
along
a-
with the party. Honestly,
it's-
I have concern about being able to meet Echo's feet.
well, and if it's a matter of money, we really at this point could stop pretending like we're high school players and actually realize that I bet you that we can talk her down.
Mhm.
I mean, she's giving 80% of it to charity.
And like I believe if we do take down the hag's going to have something of value there that we can use to barter or make more money.
And the concern that I have with what he's told us about Rakamar is he told us I don't know if he let it slip or not, but he told us that he is searching for something very specific there.
Yeah, an artifact or something,
He
right?
called it the artifact.
Right. So he told us that he's looking for. He said, "I want you to free Rakamar, or at the very least, we need to find the artifact
and get it from the fire newts that have it." Correct.
Right.
Remember that.
And so my thought on that is that my character wouldn't necessarily be swayed, but would be thinking about Iku's points of he's going to be very focused, because knowing dwarves, my character's going to be like, well, yeah, he is going to be very focused on what he wants the end goal to be. Let's see if she'll reduce her fee.
So does that mean we are leaning towards Echo, but only if she reduces her fee?
Well, I don't know if you could make that kind of absolute, but that would definitely help us it would help me make my decision.
Well, we're all together. I mean, obviously, how much money, how much gold can we pull together from the group?
We
we
talked
added,
about it a little bit. I think we got 190.
yeah, that's without knowing what
That doesn't
Cookie
count.
or Woody
We
has.
supplies for the travel? Are we going to need beasts of burden? Are we going to be special foodstuffs? Jungle's wet, slimy, damp. Stuff is going to rot. We may need spare clothing. I can create water as necessary, or purify food if we need to. But maybe we should do a little bit more research, or even bring that up with these guides.
Well, the
to
guide
say
should know. Imagine
Right.
they
Yeah.
can tell us.
that
Well,
let's
and
ask
that's
these guys what kind of cash outlay we're going to need to be able to outfit this journey. I mean,
Well,
we
and
don't
that's a
set
potential
sail
way that we
without
could
making
talk her
sure we have
down.
the proper provisions.
That's a potential way we could talk her down.
And the fact that she's the one to share with me about the hag, and I promised that we would take care of the hag. Maybe that'll.
That was nice of you.
Maybe that'll. Yeah, it was nice of me, wasn't it? Maybe that'll convince her to knock her price down a little bit, or we tell her that she can have help us take whatever loot we get from the hag. Okay.
All right, let's go see if we could do it.
All right.
Let our
Kev.
persuasion person roll for persuasion.
You want us to roleplay this? You just want to kind of cliff note it? How you want to do this, Kev?
Yeah, so you go back. She says, I knew you'd come back.
Meaning we are going to roleplay this, or you just want to cliff note it?
I
Your
mean, okay, so I guess the first thing, are we just going right hard to cutting teeth here, or are we like, what are you? Do you want to know stuff before we start, cutting teeth?
Well, first we want to know how much she thinks it's going to cost us to outfit our trip.
And she goes, well, do you guys want to travel by river, or do you want to go by the jungle?
Which is the fastest?
Well, you're the guide. You tell us which is the safest and the best route. We're relying on you for that answer.
Well, personally, I like to travel by river. It's a little bit quicker, and, well, there's a little less things that go bump in the water as opposed to go bump in the jungle.
Okay.
A canoe that'll hold everyone, that'll be about 50 gold pieces.
Woo, we were not
Oh,
money.
so the moral of this story is we can't afford her and outfitting.
All right, so Mary's gonna be up front with the look. So we're short on funds. I think we're leaning towards you, but we got to work out a deal here. Now, we know your fee. Is there something we can work out with? I've already told you that I would promise to help you out with a hag. If there's any loot there, we could obviously share in that to meet your fees. But we need to know if you're willing to drop your price down a little bit, or worst case scenario, take payment later.
Why don't you give me a persuasion check, and either two of you can roll a persuasion, or one of you can give it to me with advantage.
I only have +4 on it, guys.
Well, that's more than I got.
So am I doing it with advantage, or someone else
So
want to roll it as well?
Who's got the best persuasion?
Me.
I think no matter what, I mean, I want to speak for Kevin, but since I was having the conversation, I got to at least be one of the rolls, and then maybe, shit, I keep wanting to say Veli.
Yeah.
Will roll his as well.
All right, 1 and 1.
Do you want this whispered to you, Kev, or out in the open?
This one you can do in the open. If you want.
Oh, shit. Come on, Will. Woohoo!
There you go.
So, Maris, you're talking to her, and she gets the sense that you're kind of on the same path she's on, the same vibe, the same wavelength, and she sees you, Will, and she's like, oof. Well, I don't get to often travel in such good-looking company. And she will say, if you're willing to help me with the hag, because as much as I love traveling with good-looking company, that's not everything. I will tell you what. I will do 3 gold a day if you cut me in a little bit of the treasure as well, or whatever we happen to recover in my time, and then that way, I can really help the people here.
Mary just
So
had that's a go ahead.
3 gold a day, but she hasn't confirmed that she wants 30 days in advance.
She'll say, well, hang on. She goes, my normal fee is the 30 days up front, but I can tell you're good people, Maris. I will allow, and I don't break this rule often, you can give me 18 days up front.
At 3 gold apiece.
At 3 gold apiece.
Mary's will turn the rest of the group, says, I'm okay at those terms. Rest of you?
I think that's acceptable.
I'll take one for the team as well.
So she's just dropped our gold outlay by 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's finish the question that I interrupted of the total cost of how much it's going to cost us to out. 50 gold for the canoe. What else?
Well, you may want some insect repellent for the bugs that are out there. They're quite bitey and scratchy,
Itchy and scratchy?
Yes. I personally never leave home without it, and you might also want a rain catcher if you can't produce your own clean water. I can help you a little bit with that, but, this is a pretty big group.
So how much are we talking about? 50 for the canoe? How much for the insect repellent? How much for the water catcher?
Well, the water catcher, they're about 1 gold piece a catcher, and it depends if you want incense or if you want a gourd of salve for insect repellent. The gourd is about 1 gold piece, and you get about 20 applications of odorless grease per gourd, and it'll protect you for 24 hours, and it's also waterproof, which is quite nice because, as you can tell from this rain, we get a lot of rain. It's quite terrible. And
How many do we have in our party? 5 or 6?
I think it's about
1,
6.
2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5. I got.
And she goes, a block of incense when lit will burn for 8 hours and repel normal insects with a 20-foot radius. Not that you know, but within 20 feet.
Well, I think Mary's gonna lean towards the stuff that we put on because we're not always going to be in a spot where we can burn incense.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're at 6. So we're at 62 gold right now. What other expenses are we going to have?
Well, you're going to need water and perhaps something to carry the water. I don't know if you can just purify it on demand, but there is, water.
I think we've got water covered, do we not?
Yes.
I don't have it prepared, but I can change one of my other spells out to do that.
No, you don't need to.
Same.
To purify water?
Yeah, only one of you needs it.
Create water.
Was that the Tempest? Are you going to give up one of your other spells to do that instead?
Yeah, I could do that. If you concentrate on the healing, I'll drop Cure Wounds and to go. Or actually, I can even drop Guiding Bolt.
Okay,
Command.
that's your call.
I've got a couple I can change about.
Okay, well, let's see how much it costs for water, and then we'll know whether or not we need to.
Well, I can create 10 gallons of water in an open container. So that, or we can go the purify route. If we're on the river, pull water right from the river. And
Yeah, but
You
you're only going
can't
to have to
do
create water like once every 3 days, maybe. That'd be enough to handle us for
Right.
3 days.
We wouldn't have to worry about collecting it, but we'll still have the food issue.
Well, we have because we do have rain catchers too, right?
That was part of that 62 cost, right?
Yeah, because we're at 1 gold each for rain catchers, which is 6 gold. We're at 6 of the salve, which is 20 applications each. So everybody gets 20 applications because there's 6 of them, and then 50 gold for the canoe. That's where our 62 gold is at right now.
Yeah. Imagine we can buy enough rations to get us, I don't know, maybe there and back. Are we planning a 30-day trip? I don't know.
I'm sure there's creatures in the woods that we can eat.
Well, and chances are we've all got rations as our basic equipment, so we all have 10 rations already.
Right.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, and this is just from your observation, is that it is very hot in Chult. At least what you have experienced so far. There's the driving rain from the tropical storms, but it also gets hot during the day.
Meaning
Don't
what?
forget
We're going to consume more
fire.
water?
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
but
your
it's
life
not going to be more
experience.
than a gallon a day per person, so that water shouldn't be an issue. Even
So
if
having
we do the
having
rain
grown up in the
catchers-
having grown up
Go
in the jungle, what do I know about our water consumption?
You would know that it's definitely higher than when in the mainland, and in fact, if you had to guess a specific amount of water that is required per day,
Approximately how many gallons per day?
if you had to guess and really nail down a specific number, I believe I'm pretty sure.
Man, I don't want to metagame this, but wouldn't we just ask the guide to, look, just tell us what we need. You're the guide.
Yeah, add up the amount.
And
You're right. You're totally right.
You would need. Where is it? That's. Sorry, I had it friggin' bookmarked here. Hang on 1 second. I believe you need 2 gallons a day is what you officially need to get by.
And this isn't anything we can get from the environment?
you can,
Well,
but
you
it's
can
probably going to be like drinking shit out of an old, rotten looking pool of stagnant water.
Well, whatever. I'm difficult to poison. I don't care.
Just be
We're going to need
farting.
some kind of beast of burden to be able to carry the provisions anyway. A couple of casks. If we can't get the water from rain or river, we can create it.
Yep.
If
Worst
we
case
pull the
scenario,
water-
both of us will switch over to having that spell
Yeah,
available.
exactly.
So sorry.
Yeah.
So you would know that you need 2 gallons of fresh water, or you possibly would get dehydrated, which might have consequences there. I'm sure you can extrapolate what that consequence might be.
Yep.
And
Starts with an E and rhymes with exhaustion.
pretty close. I think you're off on a syllable.
Oh, okay.
I thought it started with meat, ended with grinder.
No, that's the other thing.
I guess really, I mean, the Cole's notes of this should be, Iku, if we're going to venture into the jungle with you, how much money is it going to cost us in supplies, period, for us to get to where we're going? She should be able to tell us. If she's a good guide, she should be able to tell us.
And Kevin, you don't have to give us an answer right now. But
yes, I do
between
not
now
have
and
to give you an answer right now. But this would be a good time for us to stop because it's almost 11:45.
Yep.
And I think that's a good place to stop. And I can maybe drop some numbers. But, I mean, your basics are, like, if you need to get through, is the canoe. Well, the canoe's optional. You can go by foot if you want, but that's up to
She
you.
said go by the river, so that's where we'll go.
Each gourd of insect repellent gets you 20 days. I will let you determine how many of those that you need. She's already said she would recommend taking some. And obviously water is important for any adventure along with rations. Anything else you need is creature comfort. So I'm sure you all can look at or find how much a ration costs. and how much it weighs and take it from there, or if you're willing to take a risk at gathering food or other such things.
And the salve stuff, that's not something that the guide or any of us can make while we're in the wild, right?
You can make in the wild. I do not. No, you can't make it in the wild.
Okay.
Because there's the non-Jobal dude that runs the insect repellent cartel.
Yeah.
He told us that earlier.
Yep.
It's true.
So whatever I guess she says we need, I would add like a safety factor of 50%. You guys cool with that, or should we double it? Since we're on meat grinder mode.
Well, I guess how long is it going to take us to make the trip to Umbala?
She says Umbala is about 20 days out.
So
We
20
need to
days out.
count another 10.
Well, so we're not taking Mushu, so we're not. I'm going to ask this of Nolly. Are we
we're
not going to
bringing-
Harakamar now?
And we're going to
Mushu
need
Mushu
to
pissed
account
me
for the
off.
trip back. So at minimum, we're talking 40 days.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Well, unless we can get supplies at Umbala, but we don't know that, right?
Well, from what Mushu told us, it's a ghost town.
No, you said it's a ghost town.
Still a town.
So 60 days worth is what I'm recommending. That's 50% more than what we need there and back. Or do you guys think we should double that?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess metagame wise, can we even carry that much?
And can the river get us all the way there, or are we going
So
to
that's
have to do overland?
so that's a total of 86 gold worth of stuff.
For 60 days?
Yeah. Because the canoe is the canoe. It still costs us 20 gold. So we've gone from 12 gold in other supplies to 36 gold in other supplies. So we're now at 86 gold. The rest of it's creature comforts. So we're good to go. So that's 86 gold plus another 54 gives us 140 total, including how much we've got to pay Iku. So we have more than enough for that.
Okay.
And if I want to tell you what how much salve weighs, I can do that.
You can do that in between sessions if you want
So-
to.
Yeah.
But it's also going to live
While
in
we're
the canoe.
talking, I've run the map that we were given, and I'm like, if we're going by river, we're going to go by this Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance. Is
Right.
there going to be
Good
opportunity
call.
for
Do
us
we know that?
to trade there?
It's on the map that you gave us.
It's on
Oh,
the map
okay.
that we were given.
Okay.
Are these allies? Are these camps that we can trade with? Possibly find lodging and food at?
All good questions.
She would tell you that. Let me just check one thing here. She would tell you that word is Camp Righteous got overrun.
By
Pigs and goats.
Like undead, maybe think dinosaurs. Just like it was a bad scene, man. And
but it's right on the river, so we're going to go past it no matter what.
yeah,
And will the river
All
take
right.
us all the way to Umbala? Or do we have to go into the jungle for that?
I would say you don't know at this point.
Oh, but yeah, I can
she
exit
would
that.
she would let you know that there's a little bit of jungle, but it would mostly be river
Okay.
to get there.
Okay.
Okay, so this Camp Vengeance is a place where we could put ashore, get fresh rations, possibly beast of burden,
Or we could all just die there.
and or is that a location that we would have to be wary of? Camp Vengeance has a double-edged sword name there. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, but righteous was the opposite, so vengeance would be too.
Yes.
So yeah, she thinks they'd have some supplies. Again, as you can see from the map, it's kind of out in the jungle. So they may be more expensive, they may be more difficult to come by. It's just
We should.
she says it's
Go ahead.
she essentially tells you that it's kind of like an outpost into the jungle.
But
Wow.
there's friendly traders there. That's my key point.
Yeah, it's definitely
There's a
like
port in which we can make a stop and refresh, and then.
I mean, a port on a river is kind of, aggrandizing what's actually there. But yes, you could stop there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you kind of realize that with a river leading to Port Nyanzaru, it might serve as like a post for adventurers who are going off to other regions, or on a trade route for more different, like more who are out searching for treasure or whatever have you for trade. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yep. Bottom
So far,
line,
so good.
we'll find out.
All right. No, I think we have a solid game plan building here.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
So yeah, there's 6 of us plus EQ now. 7 total.
Well, Iku's got to bring her own damn supplies. I'm paying her 3 gold a day.
Okay.
On the second day, she says, "I am out of supplies, guys. You must feed me, or I will die."
Bread and water.
Should have chose the dwarf.
I don't have create food. I have purify food, but not create.
Yeah. We have create or destroy water and purify food drink. There's no creating of food. I think that's a druid thing with
Good berry.
A ranger thing, too.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have a ranger, don't we?
Interesting. I just looked at I was just looking at Roll20 at a spell, and they now list Artificer as a class that can cast spells in the compendium.
Oh, they included them. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
That's a good session.
Yes, that was, Kev. I know we didn't go out and do any adventuring, but that was fun. I hope the other guys enjoyed it as well, and I didn't just take over shit.
Well, you got your way,
I
so.
like a good RP session.
Now, in all fairness,
Enjoy.
I didn't push you guys in that direction, did I?
Yeah. No, you didn't, but your character might have.
Well, I was honestly playing. I mean, her
But
God
that was
said
just
she is the
described.
choice. You
No,
know.
you played
There
her
was
the way that
absolutely
she.
no
you,
problem with the way that panned
you
out.
played her the way that she needed to
Went
be
very
played.
well.
Absolutely.
I would just like to point out, I think Rand picked a good session for him to miss. I know he doesn't like RP too much. So that's probably good. I enjoyed RPing with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Well done.
Definitely.
Well done, sir.
I'm just glad you didn't pick some of the ones that I made voices for that I regret making voices for, but
Like the cats. Would you have did you make voices for the cats?
I did have an idea for the cats that I was going to run with, and I am not proud of it.
Did they say meow meow at all?
Meowby.
You look at Will and go.
They might have wanted to leave right meow.
You got to be kidding me, right? Meow.
Yeah. Are you haggling with me right meow? Are you serious meow?
I think you were looking forward to the cats.
Maybe.
I would have let my daughter listen for that part of the session. She would have loved it.
I don't know, depending how old she is, just put on Super Trooper. that would have been the gist of it anyways.
Fun session, Kevin. I really appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, it's good.
Very
So-
much so.
We're still tentatively scheduled for in 2 weeks, or how's your schedule looking, Kev?
Yeah, so the project that was going to take me out to Alberta for a week, I won't be able to do before Christmas, so I'm good for the 20th right now.
Okay.
If everyone else is,
Oh, I'm not good for the 20th.
Oh.
We've got people coming over.
So have them listen,
Oh, my wife would be very angry.
or very amused.
We shall find out how well the dwarf can swim.
Because the other option, actually, no, I can't do the 13th because I just made a promise to my sister about doing something on the 13th. So,
Well, that's cool. You guys can play on the 20th. If my plans fell through, then I'll be here. But it won't be a big deal.
So you mean by fall through, you mean you don't open the door when family arrives?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Fall through as in I sneak downstairs while everybody's at the dinner table. That kind of fall through.
Perfect. Oh
Yeah.
man, the hot water tank totally shut off. I'm going to go fix that.
Oh, yes. Must set my laptop up in the storage room.
Oh, I have decided to do laundry tonight, of all nights.
No, laundry's upstairs. It wouldn't work.
Oh man. Well, if it's a laptop, you could put it up there premeditatively and.
No, like I mean on the main floor, just outside the kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
No, order something from Amazon. I need to go check on it, see what's going on.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's Jake from State Farm. He's on the phone. I've got to him.
Gotta go.
Can't keep Jakey waiting.
That reminds me, earlier someone said something along the lines of, well, he's a guide, so when you're talking about the guide, I was like, oh shit, that's totally a State Farm commercial. Well, he sounds hideous. Well, he's a guide, so.
Well, he sounds hideous.
And just so you guys know, I was not pushing for any specific guide.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing, Iku from State Farm?
I've got like feathers in my hair and shit. I give away a lot of my money.
Well,
So-
you sound hideous.
My feelings are hurt. I will destroy your world now. Thank you. And I have gazed upon it. I am Vishnu. I have become destroyer of worlds. Anyways, guys, I gotta go to sleep because I have to run the other group at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Not the other group.
They're pretty far ahead of us, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, they're ahead of you. How? Well,
Without a guide.
without a guide, they are ahead of you.
Meaning they're in the jungle somewhere.
Meaning they put the grinder in meat grinder.
Well, they didn't choose meat grinder, but they objectively chose to make it harder on themselves.
So they did just because they didn't have money, or what was their logic for not picking a guide?
Well, the guy who is kind of leading the party, his character flaw is he thinks he's better than everyone else.
Oh, so he's Rand. Not Rand. Shouldn't say Rand. Woody.
Yeah.
Let's go fight. Let's go fight.
He was basically like, oh, we don't need a guide. We can go do this. He's like a ranger or something. He's like, I'm a ranger. I can handle this. And he's like, we have this map, the same map that you guys have. And that's what they did.
Are they being led to Mbala too, or are they going someplace
Figured out
else?
that it's a bad idea yet, or are they not there yet?
I think there is some regrets. I don't know if the full party has regrets because there's some good role playing going on and playing as characters. But it is interesting to see them come to some challenges that might have been easier with a guide. And there's some parts where a guide would be able to maybe direct them a little better. But, it is what it is, right?
They're wandering aimlessly through an uncharted, unmapped jungle.
Well, I think also what's kind of saving them is they have like a ranger and a druid. So that's kind of helping them out a bit, but yeah.
I'm hoping Eku is a druid. I'm hoping. Because we don't have a druid, do we?
No.
Because Woody's a ranger, and what the hell is Cookie?
Rand had talked about making one, but decided against it.
What is Cookie? Did he ever tell us?
I'm not sure that Cookie knows what Cookie is.
Gladiator is what I heard, but I think that's a background. So I assumed he was some kind of a fighter.
I cannot reveal that. I will have to leave that to Anthony. And so I will inform the party that Iku is the party's guide.
All right.
Woo! Mary's got her way.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, Cav, I'll let you go to sleep. Thanks. Great session tonight, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Connection
Good night.
Oh,
All right, guys.
Just one last thing, Kev. I recorded this. Are you okay with me uploading this to YouTube and me keep it on a down low?
No, you guys can upload it to YouTube. I don't think I said anything wildly inappropriate today.
Okay. I'll make sure it says it's not for kids.
Yeah, I don't want you to get demonetized on something that will get tens
I don't make
Of-
money off YouTube. Are you kidding me?
tens of views, Brian. I
Yes.
swear.
Yep.
It's
Maybe we should
probably
add all of them
Brian's
up.
just watching. Brian's watching them on 10 different accounts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as long as you get 6 views, then you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think
One
I
for
got
each.
that.
One for each player.
I do it more so for myself. What the hell did we do last time? What did I say? Oh yeah, that's what I said. Cool. All right, I'm gonna stop recording.